wocpodcasts.com.
AirWreckRadio.
Walmart employs 1% of all of Americans. Should it be forced to pay its employees more? This and much more on AirWreckRadio.
It's a goddamn joke. It's quid pro quo de facto. This democracy's a hoax. Stacy says, man, it's time to act. Keep your wallet where your heart is. We can take the power back. So go get a bowl, a spoon, and some cereal, and sit your ass down. It's time for AirWreck Radio.
It is the 7th day of July in the year 2014. I'm Corey.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is episode 61 of AirWreck Radio. And we are pleased to have some friends in studio again for a change.
Well, we're tolerant to have some friends in studio. I think.
Somebody's got to come and hang out with us.
Yeah. Second Prince is here with us tonight. Give it up for Second Prince.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, John. Clipping.
I like your enthusiasm, John. It's very welcome.
He's the only one that cheers for us.
He cheers very
That's
well,
it.
though. I mean, he's pretty good
One
at
of
it.
us have to cheer for our own show.
Well, I was trying to play.
One guy was
studio
like,
audience.
yeah, that's us. The other one, fight.
Well, thank you guys for having us here again.
You're welcome. We really enjoy having you guys here. So plus there was nobody else.
Special guest.
So
This is the best podcast we do. You know.
I mean, I agree with that.
I didn't want to say it to your guys' face, but I think we agree.
It's nice being on a good show.
I just got elated for being recognized for sitting in the room.
Yeah. It was like someone noticed me.
All right.
Hey, John, wait. Me, John?
So you guys just got back from what was the name of the con? I don't know. I'm so bad at knowing
Heroes
things I
Con
need
in
to know.
Charlotte.
That's the one. You guys just got back from Heroes Con in Charlotte. How was that?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We had a blast. We were there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 3-day show. We got to meet all kinds of artists, all kinds of writers, got to talk to a bunch of people, got some actually custom sketches done. It was a blast.
I saw a lot of the custom sketches on Twitter. That stuff's pretty cool. What do you just go up to a table where a guy is and you're like, I want Batgirl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
Pretty much. And then he's like, okay, that'll be $100.
Yeah.
Oh,
What if
really?
you're like, here's
yeah.
$100, draw me something cool?
Yeah, they'll pretty
Not
much
all
draw, within reason. I think some people
Penises. I want penises.
I want Batgirl tentacle porn.
I think some people would do it.
yeah.
I asked
Yeah.
Ben Templesmith
All right.
if he would do my Catwoman, Roy Harper, strung out on a couch
Heroin.
on heroin.
Yeah.
Because this is
Okay, junkie version.
Well,
All right, I like
well,
it.
Roy Harper's story goes into he had a drug problem.
Okay.
So I was like, he falls off the wagon. He gets Selena Kyle involved. They go on like a crime spree because they're trying to get drugs.
Woo.
And I thought it would be a good storyline.
I think you're right.
I think I agree with you.
I love how his custom cover has a whole backstory, though. Like, he really thought of
Well,
this.
if you're going to
That's
have the
just
cover,
the
you might as well
cover.
have the magazine. This can't be like one of those magazines where they show somebody on the cover and then they're not in it.
Let's wait till we get to the content. And panel one. Well, now what do we do, guys?
So I asked him if he'd do it, and he's like, I was like, well, these were the two ideas I had. And he's like, well, I don't care. I'll do either one, you know? And I went with the other one because I got a triple cover. So I had him do a three covers that interlock on 3 different
all
books.
right. Well, that's pretty badass, too.
That's awesome. That's past badass. That's pretty awesome.
But it's not the picture that I've always dreamed him drawing.
Well, I'm sure for another $100 you could draw that for you too, right? For $50 I'll draw it. Was there a bunch of cosplayers at that con?
Not so much.
No?
Like Friday wasn't that crazy with cosplayers. Saturday there was, but there was only maybe 4 really good ones.
Yeah.
The rest of them are like, here's a T-shirt, and it's like this really fat Punisher, and you're like, yeah, that's exactly what I think of when I think of Punisher. Really fat, overweight,
Paul Blart, Punisher,
right?
Mid-40s, receding hairline, little teeth decay.
So
He's
surprisingly,
got orthotics on.
Surprisingly, and I usually hate Deadpool cosplayers. I thought all the Deadpool cosplayers were creative.
You got to be pretty jacked to be
different-
Deadpool cosplay.
Well, I don't know. It's a pretty easy costume to make.
Yeah.
The thing that pisses me off. So he has this little sock thing, condom tip. At the,
The reservoir tip. Yeah, okay, yeah.
At the
You
end,
got to pinch that before you roll it on, otherwise you blow it up.
off the end of his mask.
His mask, okay. His
No one
cape
ever
cowl.
puts that in their fucking costume and cosplay. But there were a lot of versions of Deadpool. Like there was a Hawaiian Deadpool and an army dude Deadpool.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Do you ever scream at people and be like, that's not even a Deadpool costume. That's a spray painted Spider-Man costume. Fucking chump.
Not to their faces.
See, and he played he played Spider-Man and he still had the condom tip.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he
That
stole
Deadpool's
Spider-Man's
hilarious.
copy and he still had the condom tip.
That's great.
It's because Deadpool needs the Magnum.
I was at a 5K 2 weeks ago. Last week? Was it last week? I don't know.
It was
a
2 weeks ago.
superhero 5K. I went as Duff Man. I was definitely one of the best cosplayers there.
Yeah.
There's
And
no
I'll tell you
question
what,
there.
you're going to see me make appearances as Duff Man at events.
Why didn't I
Why
see
are we
photos?
doing it now?
Because here's what happened,
Where are
man.
the photos?
Why isn't he Duff Man now?
Like every time he does a podcast, he's
Man.
like, I'm here.
Yeah. Duff Man is here to make your podcast.
Oh, well, because that would get us sued, I'm pretty sure. Which would be cool because bad press is good press.
I'm Hideaway Brewery Man.
That might give you enough press to actually monetize the show and pay for the lawsuit.
Right.
That would be nice. The lawsuit, I like to pay for the website for a week.
So you're at the
I
5K.
love it when a conversation falls dead. I
No,
love
you were
it.
at the
It's my
5. You were at the 5K.
Just
as
let's
Duff
die.
Man.
Yeah, and the reason there are no pictures is because we did the whole thing. It was hot as balls, dude. I talked about this on last week's show. So for the 13 people that listened last week, sorry you're hearing it again. It was crazy, crazy hot. And my daughter went, and she went as Harley Quinn. And Harley Quinn does not have a light costume to wear. It's not
She
colored.
went classic Harley Quinn? Like
full
body.
Yeah.
She went ballerina Harley
ballerina
Quinn.
kind of Harley Quinn.
Okay.
It was kitted up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
make
with
it
a little
more-
tutu and shit.
Made
but
it a little more appropriate for a 7.
Yeah, not like
Yeah,
not
she's
not the
young.
onesie, not like
Right.
that.
Oh, okay.
So she went too, and she ran the whole thing with my wife. Only it was too hot for her, man. She couldn't hang it at all. So I finished first, and not I finished first, but I finished before that. Obviously, look at
He's
me.
like, I won the whole fucking thing.
I don't finish first.
I'm a 6 foot fat white guy and I win marathons.
No, I think the Hulk won actually, but he cheated. Come on, he's the Hulk. So she melted down I must have been there for a half hour after the race was done, standing around as Duff Man. And as we're leaving, I'm carrying her out because she's borderline heat stroke, crying her little kid eyes out. I want to go home. I don't feel good. So as soon as she started crying, I picked her up and I was like, that's it. We got to go. And I'm really pretty sure that I was like top 3 costumes. And right as we're walking out, this dude with an event shirt on is like, hey, Duff Man, let me get a picture. And I'm like, dude, do you see my crying daughter in my arms? I'm not
actually Duff Man.
I'm not Duff Man anymore, man. I'm Dad Man, and I gotta go, man.
Man, I'm out of here.
And he was like, "Are you serious?" Like, yeah, I'm serious. Duff Man's about to kick your ass. Leave me alone, dude.
Yeah.
The fucking paparazzi, dude.
You're a terrible superhero. I tell you what.
Hey, speaking about hot as balls,
Nice.
We don't need a segue into how I look tonight, but thank you for bringing it up.
so we drive all night Wednesday.
Oh, he's gonna tell this story.
Man, I got to.
Oh, you guys
He
drove down?
shoehorned it in here. We got to fill it with something
Right.
now.
We drive all Wednesday night, and Thursday we get to the hotel, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't have any rooms ready."
What?
We've been driving for, we've been on the road 13 hours.
You got a closet somewhere? I'll take a couch. You got
We're
a
like,
lobby, right?
Yeah, what's your customer lounge look like?
They're like, come back in a couple hours. We're like, okay, whatever. We leave, and we're like, well, we'll do the early check-in because they were doing check-in on Thursday for the con.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, we'll go do check-in. We get up there, and they're like, put on our things, and they're like, by the way, you guys can shower with those
Wristbands.
on.
Oh, fabulous.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
Your little bugged wristband.
How do you know I'm not showering with the wristband on? You're pulling the mirrors back. You're knocking
they're
on
like,
the walls.
you
You're
can't-
pulling the vents up.
You can't take those off.
Oh, they're like the Seabreeze hospital wraparound bands.
Right. And they're like, you can shower in those. And she said it like,
10 times to us.
yeah.
Just want to make
I'm
sure
like,
you know.
we must have smelled really fucking bad after driving so long.
Hey, Stinky, just so you know.
So I had to really
little
take a
salt and water, not going to
Yeah,
hurt.
you're like, you could shower with those. Now, I just want you to make sure you could totally shower with those.
Hey, Stinky,
Hey.
take your happy ass in up to your room.
So I had to take a shit, and I go into the convention center shitter.
Can I take a shit with this?
Yeah.
And I sit down and take a shit.
Oh, no, you
And,
can't
like-
take a shit with that.
The fucking nasty ass raunchy smell of my balls just wafts up.
Was this
as
a
I'm
whole
taking
story
shit.
about getting to like how bad your balls
Yeah.
stink?
Yeah, the whole story.
Yes.
That's what I said.
I'm not.
Let me slip this shoehorn in here.
Not
so my balls.
Not only did I live this, I've heard this story like 4 times now.
There's a whole new audience for the story.
You're right.
It's true.
Yeah, because
We're having fun.
the 2 people that listen to our show,
They obviously didn't listen last week.
no.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
Then I get back to the hotel.
Stinky raunchy balls. Okay, where were you? Okay, stinky balls. Go.
Oh yeah, so taking a shit, my fucking balls just reek. I can smell them.
How do you know it wasn't the poo?
There's
distinct
definitely
smells.
different smells.
The fuck? What are you doing that your balls smell like that?
I wiped to the front.
Amateur.
So you got to realize, I went to work, the day before, then got in a car and drove for 13 hours, and then we're walking around downtown Charlotte, and it's 90 degrees out. So I haven't taken a shower in over 24 hours.
Why didn't you just take a shower? The lady told you could several times.
No,
We couldn't get into our room yet.
Sir, that
Oh, this is
wristband
before you
Yeah.
convention
Okay,
center.
all right.
Yeah, we were at
This
the
is the
convention
convention
center.
center. We're checking in to get our
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
So we couldn't get into the room.
passes or whatever, so we don't have to stand in line on Friday.
I can't imagine.
Passes to the pre-party.
Yeah,
at the
pretty much.
Right.
pre-game.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
So I get back to the hotel. I go and finally, we get in the room. I take a shower. I'm washing myself off with the washcloth. I wash underneath my balls.
Great.
The washcloth starts to dissolve in my hands.
Pretty
I
close.
blame the
There was so
Koreans.
much little underwear fuzz on my washcloth. I was like, fuck, can't use this again. I had to get a new washcloth to wash the rest of my body because I was like, there's no way, because I hadn't washed my face yet.
Good thing this is a hotel. These aren't my linens.
Is underwear balls code for shit?
No. I was wearing, like dark blue boxer briefs, and there was like little blue fuzzies all stuck under my balls.
All right, fine, I shit myself.
No, that was Friday.
So, other than the con, what else was going on in North Carolina? Anything?
We went and hung out French Quarter. Was that a French Quarter? Yeah, that was awesome. It
Yeah.
was like,
your smelly balls must have fit right in there.
Perfect.
Oh, walking around in Speedos. Guns
No,
out.
I did shower like twice a day.
I'm the American. Oh, wait.
It's a really nice city, and we hung out at a bunch of different bars. The first night we got there on Thursday, so the first night we hit like 7, 8 different bars or something like that.
Yep.
And we were just going around, and it's a really clean city. They have like trash cans and recycle bins like everywhere.
Wow, what's that like?
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
What am I going to
you
do with
in
this
Canada?
garbage?
Dude, there are cigarette ashtrays
Yeah,
all
everywhere.
over the fucking
Yeah.
place.
Wait a
Can
minute,
you
you're
smoke-
allowed
is
to
that-
smoke?
Yeah, is that a state that
Not
you're
in the bars.
Outside.
But
Okay.
outside, but they're actually fucking places to throw your butts.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this place.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great because it's
Sounds like a
it's-
nice middle of the road.
Yeah, right.
You're walking. We walked everywhere, and there was a lot of cops, around. But
Well, they
it
heard
was-
there was a con in town.
Yeah.
They had to
like,
step up
they
security.
They were like,
Con.
yeah. But
Oh, okay.
it was really cool.
There aren't nearly as many cops as there are in fucking New York City.
Yeah.
That place.
no, that is
they
crawling
fucking
with cops.
love this. Be like, oh, we have strict gun laws and we have no gun crime. No, you have cops every.
Yeah,
fucking
instead
where.
you have police
And
abuse
tons of
crime.
gun crime. Fuck yeah.
No, now per capita they don't really
Oh,
have that much
Okay.
gun crime.
Per capita, you're absolutely
No, instead they
correct.
have drummed up drug charges.
However, they have the most concentrated population of any American city. We could stretch the numbers out a little bit. And
Not when it
span
comes-
out.
well, really,
And there's
though-
still enough. There's still enough gun crime. To
Yeah,
say
but
that
you
they have a crime
don't
problem.
hear about. Oh, I went on vacation in New York and I got
Oh,
mugged.
it's not Rochester. Let me.
Nobody goes on
Way
vacation
higher
in
class.
Rochester.
Exactly, and that's why you get mugged. in
Even
Rochester.
Rochesterians don't go on vacation. There's no money for that. What are you going to do? Mug some? You can't get fucking water from a stone.
Speaking of Rochester, I own a comic book, and it's the first comic book I've bought in 20 years that features Rochester on the cover.
You bought one 20
Yeah.
years ago that did too?
You bought the
No,
first
this is
print
the first
comic.
book I bought in 20 years, and it's got Rochester on the
Oh,
cover.
I see.
You brought the first print comics exclusive cover of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
I
number
did.
34.
I sent Buck up there. Thank you
Yeah.
guys very much.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I got it. I'm putting it in a frame. I'm framing it on the wall.
Now, does that comic? What did they do? Like, did they make different covers for that comic?
Yeah,
for different cities.
There's a national. No, what we did, we contacted IDW, who publishes the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and we're like, hey, we want to do an exclusive cover. And in a lot of these bigger shops around, like Midtown Comics and stuff like that, they do exclusive covers to like all these like tons of
A
different
lot of
comic
shops.
books. Yeah.
Midtown does exclusive covers like monthly, but they have 3 shops and they serve New York City.
So this was the one company that they were actually
Comic Mart.
they
Okay.
would actually respond to us and get back to us like the other companies would, but not really in a good timely manner. So we wanted to get an exclusive cover that we wanted to do, and what we did was we contacted them and we said, hey, I have an artist that could draw really well. We want him to do the art, and we're going to tell him what to put on the cover. Are you cool with that? And they're like, yeah, we just got to approve it. And
yeah,
then,
well, yeah,
and-
I'm not
and then-
putting my name on it.
and then
Bullshit.
Nickelodeon had to approve it as well because they own the Ninja Turtles right now.
Thank God
Oh, so
Disney
they
doesn't
can't
own
be fixed
something.
on the cover.
Yeah, so
Oh,
they,
gotcha.
we got the artist. His name's Sale, and he did this cover, and they sent it back and forth, and they had a colorist that they provided, but there's only 1,000 copies that we had made. They're exclusively to First Print Comics, and that is the only place you could get them.
That's Lee Shenlong 10 on Twitter,
yes.
if you want to follow him.
And
yeah, word.
so, yeah, we got 1,000 copies. We sold probably more than half of them in that first week. We got copies left, but they're going up to $8. And the really cool thing is,
while supplies last, boy.
well, the really cool
high.
thing is we were in Charlotte and we got to meet Kevin Eastman, who created the Ninja Turtles or co-created the Ninja Turtles, and we gave him a bunch of copies to sign for us. And we were like, "What do you think of the cover?" And he's like, "Oh, it absolutely sucks." No, but he joked, and he was like, "No, I love it. You guys, did a really good
He's
job.
like-
I love,
He actually said it's amazing how many people draw the Ninja Turtles better than I do.
yeah."
That's what he said.
And that's the
about
co-creator of the Turtles, so that was a really cool kind of moment. And he's like, I was at Niagara Falls Con, and he's like, you know how many people had this cover to sign? And I was like, where did this come from? So there's like, they had national covers, so they do like an A and B cover, like they do like a 50-50 split, like there's A covers and B covers, so they did their own covers, IDW, and then there was a 1 in 10 variant. So that was another cover, and then there was a Niagara Falls Comic Con exclusive, Awesome Con exclusive, I think, and then ours.
Were those all the same issue?
All the same issue.
All the same. Yeah. Okay, so there's not just 1,000 of this issue.
No.
It's just 1,000 with this cover
That
for
cover.
this issue.
Yep.
That's pretty dope, man.
Put the Rochester. They're standing on the Rochester sewer grate, but you can only see the ester underneath his foot. It's awesome.
I saw that one on Twitter. You can follow Wreckheads. You can follow at Second Prince on Twitter. And you can see all this awesome artwork these guys pump out for us all the time.
That exclusive cover isn't the only thing we're going to be doing.
No?
So we got a couple projects down the line, and we like to work with the local artists too. Like these guys are pretty talented. So
Yeah.
we're going to have some other projects coming up, I think.
And the comic book companies, the comic book cartels, I don't know what they're
Yeah.
called when they're...
Publishers.
The
yeah.
publishers. That's probably the
Yeah.
right word.
Them bitches.
They're generally pretty cool with having, like, local artists do shit? Or
No.
No.
They're
So
like,
it's a big deal.
here's a list of, like, if you're-
Acceptable poses.
like Marvel and like Marvel, DC really didn't even respond to us, and like Image and a couple other ones are like, yeah, here's our list. This is how many copies you need to buy if you want to do exclusive cover, and here's a list of artists you can choose from.
30,000.
And here's how much each artist charges.
And here's how much it is, and you don't get the original art.
Whoa, I don't own the art.
And if you want the original art, you have to make a deal with the artist, and you're like, oh, that's awesome. So the
That sucks a
IDW
little.
one, it worked well.
They
with
were cool?
IDW because they were like, yeah, and the artist, you could probably provide the art. That's cool. And then we were like, hey, artist, Sale, can we have the original art? So we have the original cover that he drew.
nice.
So
Is it, like, framed on a
yeah,
wall?
it's framed right now. Not
Can
on
I
the
give
wall
you a
yet.
reach around? Can I
Terrific.
get the cover?
What do you guys think of the new Ninja Turtles movie? You seen
I don't think much about it at all.
There's not much to think right now. They just have, like, the one trailer, but...
We talked about it at Rockfest. He's like, April O'Neil's not going to blow a Ninja Turtle. And I said, well, it's PG-13.
Yeah, it is
I don't think it's
definitely-
happening.
It's a Michael Bay film, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate
Yeah.
in that, you know...
Well, he's a producer. He didn't direct it.
Hey, did
No, but
either
it's
of
still,
you check
you know-
out Last
Yeah,
Ship?
absolutely.
What's that?
Last Ship.
Nope, none of me.
Okay.
None of me.
It's produced by Michael Bay as well. It's a TV show on like TNT or some crap.
Yeah.
I'll check it out. I
No,
haven't gotten
no,
to it
don't
yet.
worry about
Don't,
it.
no,
No,
no.
no.
All right, whoa,
This is-
It's terrible.
All right.
All right. Way to head that off at the pass.
You guys steered me into
Orphan Black.
Orphan Black.
homosexuality.
I'm not fucking pleased at the fact that there is only one season of that show available to me for
Oh,
free
really?
right now. Yeah, because I
See,
got
I-
Amazon Prime, so I watched the first season, and they're like, you can go and buy the second season. And I'm like, no, I fucking can't. I have beer to buy.
I've watched the first season. I haven't watched the second season because I DVR'd them all.
Don't tell
But
me anything about this. If
No.
I learn about the second season
But
listening
I-
to your show, that's one thing.
I'm glad that you watched it. You liked it.
Oh,
Obviously.
it's fucking great.
Isn't
I love
it?
it. Yeah, it's a really good
I
show.
love that. The chick that plays all the
Everybody,
she's awesome.
that one actress.
the one
yeah.
actress.
The
Like, she-
only thing that bugs me is they had that really hot sex scene in the first issue,
episode.
episode,
Yeah.
whatever, and then there was no more of that. in the
No,
rest of
you're
the
right.
show.
Yeah, because that one was. I was like,
And
I
it was like,
watching
oh,
it, I
they
was
got me hooked. She got fucked
Yeah.
good.
It was a good selling point. It was like right in the beginning of the show, or
Yeah. Yeah. You know what show did that? Hemlock Grove opened with a sex scene. And I'm like, all right, good. We can see tits in this show. I'm going to stick around. Have you guys seen any Hemlock Grove? It's a
That
Netflix
was
original.
the worst fucking show ever put on Netflix ever.
Worse than Orange is the New Black.
Yes, because there's tons of fucking tits in that show.
Yeah, ugly tits.
Now, did you watch the second season?
So, listen, here's the thing with me and Orange is the New Black. My wife watches it.
It is a show for women.
So, like, I try very hard not to watch it. I try to read or anything else, but that show is crafted in a way that makes you fucking look at it because people start yelling at each other, and when people yell, you automatically look. You get that roadkill effect.
Wait a minute,
that
you
show
guys-
is all roadkill.
You
I
guys
hate
aren't
it.
jerking off to this?
No.
Oh, that's just me? Oh.
I
Yeah.
think I would fall asleep before I finish because the show's so
That
boring.
show sucks. I do not. I mean, I get why people will like it.
Yeah, me too, but it's not for me.
It's not
you
for
know?
me. It's too negative for
It
me.
is for it is a show written by a woman for women. I think that the same thing is about Weeds. It's written by the same bitch.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I know I'm
Well, her
calling
writing
that because
sucks, so.
Weeds fucking was terrible. Her writing does nothing but make me hate the fucking protagonist. I hate the characters.
I certainly hate them. I didn't watch Weeds, but I definitely hate the protagonist in Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, isn't it?
She like
I just
she
wanted
never.
Nancy to fucking die during Weeds. That's all I wanted to happen. I was like,
I
this
kinda wanna
bitch needs
jizz
to
on her dress
pay
a little
for hers.
bit.
I loved it when she got fucked in that show. She got fucked a lot.
Yeah, I'm still not going to watch
I only
Weeds.
watched the first season, and I think she got fucked like 4 times, and one of them was forcibly.
I think I'll just watch Scrubs some more. That's like my old standby. That's my go-to on Netflix. Oh, there's nothing. I don't want to watch any of this shit. I can watch Scrubs anytime.
I used Louie for my standby for a while, and now I'm out.
Yeah.
I need to find something else to watch.
That show was fucking fantastic.
Louie was brilliant. The writing was unbelievable.
Did you watch the season that was just on TV?
No, I haven't gotten that far yet. 'cause-
Oh my god, it's so good.
Okay, and I'm not going to yell at you for don't spoil it for me. It's 2014.
Yeah, you
It's
can
the
spoil this
digital
show. I don't give a
instant
shit.
age. If you get spoiled on something, it's your own fucking fault for not seeing it yet. So feel free to spoil anything you'd like. For
Wow, what a
anybody.
TV elitist you are. No wonder you
you.
didn't
They
lose
did
any
an
weight.
extra long episode that shows him getting into pot, and it was the
Word.
best episode ever. And it's good. It's a good season.
That's a great show, and I hope it
That-
runs for another 10
That
years.
I
guy
do love
is
that
a
show, too.
fucking.
I don't even know this show. I
genius.
don't know what this show is at all.
Louis C.K.
He's a stand-up
They
comic.
gave Louis C.K. Wait,
Louis.
Yeah, on FX. He's had a show for a while. Or maybe it's on.
Louis.
Yeah, that's the opening.
yeah.
He missed
I
his
want
call.
to I want to sing it, but I don't want Louis to die.
So yeah, they just finished their 4th season.
Yeah,
He gets with Pamela.
Anderson? Sweet.
it's bullshit. Spoilers! Spoilers! I can't believe you said that, man.
Our listeners.
Kevin Spacey becomes president at the end.
And then he slams his new drink into the desk. Boom! All dramatic.
I wanted to watch that show. That's House of Cards, right?
Watch it.
Well, here's the thing. I could watch C-SPAN. At least I'd be watching real shit. I mean, I don't need a fiction that's just as fucked up as how I think it really is.
Ever seen a Kevin Spacey movie?
I love Kevin Spacey. Are you
Watch
kidding me?
it.
His last name
Hey.
rhymes with my first name.
It's exactly
That
how
makes
real life is, I think.
Gotta watch his
I think I
movies now.
agree. I think it's a pretty accurate description of what I feel actually happened.
I
See, so I
haven't
don't
seen
need to watch that.
I haven't seen that show, but I totally would watch that.
And now there's a bunch of people ripping off.
Well, you have Netflix.
Yeah, yours.
Wait, is that the? Was that like a short run show? Is it over? Did they?
That was
13
it. Second
episodes.
season's done.
Oh,
Yeah, they only do
And
13
it's
episodes.
done. No, it's done though.
it's done. They're
it's
done
not
with it.
coming back.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
Two
not coming
seasons.
back? Really?
2 seasons and done.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
He's president. The
Did
goal's
what? Did they
reaching.
end it well?
Ah.
Did it like? Do you feel like it ended, or
Yeah,
like
he
it?
became president.
That was the
End
goal
of the
from the
story.
first show.
Okay, you know what? I'll sit through anything for 26 episodes. Are you kidding me? I watched Once Upon a Time. I can sit through that.
I love that show.
I
that
hate
show
that show.
fucking is
The
terrible.
first season was really good. The second season, I was like, all right.
I'm with him.
Now
Yeah.
we're kind of
I like the
now
first
we're just writing
season.
shit
The second
along.
season was
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah, just
Yep.
the writers
It's like-
are just like,
it's
let's
like-
go to Neverland.
it's like seasons
Hell, yeah.
7, 8, and 9 of Supernatural.
Yeah.
It's like, just ended already.
All
I
right.
made it through one episode, one season of that show, and I was like, yeah, no, I can see what's going on here. They're just going to keep writing new episodes to make me keep watching this drivel.
There's a lot of great
Yeah.
shows that just didn't end in time, and that's why it's called Jumping the Shark.
Heroes. Lost. Lost did not end in time.
I think like
It
how
ended in time. It just ended shitty.
I think the House of Cards thing. Okay, 2 seasons and you're done. I think they should have more shows like that. And of course, these big networks probably are like, no, run the show into the ground.
Oh, yeah.
ratings.
We
ratings.
gotta get that money.
But for the quality, you have a beginning and and an end game. You have the end game. You're like, hey, listen, 26 episodes and we're fucking done. Here's an awesome story. There's no filler episodes where you're sitting there like,
Yeah, no, every moment's important.
yeah.
yeah,
That's
But I don't think Netflix is done making programs.
no.
I think this is just the beginning of
Hemlock
Netflix making
Grove
some
comes out
quality
in 4
shit.
days.
I'm just like 5 episodes in, I think. It's okay. You know what it is? It's like Hemlock Grove is True Blood for people that don't have HBO.
Dude, it is the worst fucking. No,
so is True
way.
Blood.
Hemlock Grove's better than True Blood.
You
for
think
sure.
so?
Fuck yeah.
Wait, like in the first season or in the 4th season of True Blood? Because by the 4th season of True Blood, I was like, I don't really think I need that HBO anymore.
You know what? The first season got me to start reading the books.
Yeah.
And I read all of them. And by like the 7th book, I was like, I'm not reading any more of this. But when a new one came out, I fucking read it.
It's like fucking Game of Thrones. You just have to suffer through it.
It's
Every
fucking
one of my
terrible.
characters.
Are you two having fun with your little cross jerk here? Or are you going to start blowing each other soon? Because this is fun to watch.
Rough.
No, keep going. It's fun.
No,
It's good.
you
Go
took
ahead.
this. You took the wind out of our sails.
You hurt
Good,
his feelings.
bitches. No, I have no
Sorry,
idea
we were
any of the
talking
things
about
you were talking
premium
about.
I
premium
was
access
just about
TV.
to come to it. You stopped me.
You slapped me right in the back of the sack, man. Now I can't come at all.
You guys, you don't watch The Americans? I just talked like 20 minutes about Americans on Second Prince.
The Americans.
It's the Russian spies in the 80s.
What is it
but
on?
I'm in. I'm already
FX.
Is it
Oh,
on
I'm
Hulu
so
or
in.
Netflix?
Second season. I think maybe the first season's on Netflix.
I dropped cable, so
Yeah,
The
it might be-
first season is on Amazon Prime. For
Yeah,
sure.
there you
okay,
go.
cool. I dropped cable and I got everything else.
Little-
and I still feel like it's a better value.
It's a little slow, but I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show fucking blows.
No, it's awesome.
Are you serious? Do you think it sucks?
I don't know. I don't get I watch Netflix and Amazon Prime when I'm going to bed. So it's not fair, but I fall asleep every time. And last night I couldn't get to sleep.
Well,
and I
thanks for
watched
explaining
nothing
your
but
bias.
garbage. Well, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good because it's easy to say it sucks, but it's important to say it sucks because it makes me fall asleep
This.
when I'm trying to fall asleep.
Right. Last night I was trying to fall asleep and I couldn't, and I watched Spring Breakers. What a piece of trash! All I
That looks
wanted
like
to-
shit. Is there-
I just wanted somebody to get fucked.
Did it happen?
No,
I
I
didn't
turned
think
it
it
off.
would.
I turned it off about 80. Wow. I turned it off about 80.
In your honor, I'm taking my pants off.
He's probably working all day. It's time to take the pants off.
Exactly.
There you go.
Listeners at home, Corey never really remembers that he wants to take his belt off before we start the show, so it always happens at a really awkward time during the show.
He's like, hey, somebody should blow me. And then he starts taking his belt off.
Real awkward.
You was just
It's
getting
very
ready.
good to assume the sale. You know?
There you go. There you go.
I don't think our show has ever contained this much TV talk.
Ever.
Our listeners
Well,
are
you
going to be like,
lost
what
me
is
'cause
going
I
on?
don't
Stacy
really-
doesn't watch TV. I fooled you.
Out of all the TV talk, you guys hit one show. I was like, yeah, that show. I know that show. I don't watch any TV unless it really something really beckons to me.
Tyrant is good. That's a new show on, which if you're in the politics, it's fucking great. This show is great.
See, the
Yeah.
problem is he yells at me, did you watch this yet? And I'm like, no, the season's not done. Oh, I can't talk about that now. And I'm like, I don't watch shows live.
Yeah, no
Never.
fucking way.
I fucking hate commercials, and I want to find out what happens next.
Buy
So,
cars.
fuck
Buy
it.
car insurance. Don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snickers. like, fuck.
Not going anywhere for a while? You must be in a car. Buy a car. Get car insurance.
And then it's a fucking
Beer,
Subway.
beer, food, boobs. Beer,
Yeah.
beer, food,
Taco
boobs.
Bell, Subway.
oh my God. I was in Greece the other
Good
day.
Lord.
I was on Dewey Ave in Greece, and I haven't been in Greece for a long, long time. They put a fucking Taco Bell up there. I'm so excited for those people. My buddy lives down the street from there. I think I might have to start hanging out at his house
Their
now.
breakfast is terrible.
I don't want their
Haven't even
breakfast.
tried it yet.
No,
It's
me neither.
not good.
I'm
I
not
want
bothering.
cheap ass tacos.
There's a problem
Yeah.
when the McBurger joint has a better fucking breakfast burrito than the fucking place.
the
that sells
burrito
burritos.
place. Yeah. Well, I mean, in the McBurger joints place, in their name, they do like have a lot of practice at making shitty breakfast food real cheap.
For eons
that's
and
true.
eons. And
Yeah, you don't want to. You don't want to be the first one to try something new. You want to let that sit there
The
for like
worst-
a month,
the worst
and then
part
be like,
is-
"Oh, they got the hang of it now."
and
Yeah.
then copy them. Steal it, steal it,
Right.
steal it.
The worst part is they have the loaded potato griller at Taco Bell.
It's supposed to be like a crunch wrap, right?
No, it's like a grilled burrito, only tiny,
Right.
right?
So the thing's got, I'll call them country fried potatoes because that's what kind of the restaurants call
I
them.
know what you're talking about.
It's like
Deep
home
fried
fries.
home fries.
Yeah,
They're cheesy fiesta potatoes.
And then they have
displaying
exactly same
intimate
thing.
knowledge about
And
the
then they
Taco
have-
Bell menu.
Then they have sour cream,
Bacon.
bacon,
Guys in podcasting.
bacon.
Dave has no idea what anybody here is talking about.
Are you kidding me? I have more fast food than all of you guys.
I
put together.
guarantee you he does.
I eat so much crappy fast food. It's not even funny.
bacon, sour cream, cheese,
All this sounds good.
and
I'm all
those
on board.
potatoes in a
Now
burrito
we're hungry.
grilled.
Yeah, AirWreck
kinda
Radio
on
is going to
board.
Taco Bell right now. Folks,
Add
we'll be
some
back.
fucking eggs to that and put it on your fucking breakfast menu, idiots.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean,
Wait,
it's-
that's not something that they
no,
they do? They're like, oh no, we'll just take a waffle and make a taco out of it, but we can't
dude.
take what
And
we
that
already
fucking
have. that
waffle is terrible, and those fucking pocket whatever they're called, they're fucking terrible.
There's no Taco Bell in range of me, so I don't get Taco Bell very often. The only one that I could go to is in Dansville, and they have like it's a Taco Bell / KFC.
Where the fuck
So-
do you live?
You know, the,
In Rush.
the Henrietta one isn't closer than the Dansville
Here,
I don't. I never go when I'm here. When I'm here,
one?
I don't go out to.
Incredibly retardedly local.
When I go to work, the Dansville one is very close to me, and I eat places like that. Sometimes I eat for lunch. But this KFC, Taco Bell shit, you ever been in line at a drive-through KFC? It takes fucking forever. It's like a drive-through Red Lobster. It's
Yeah.
retarded. This is a Taco Bell / KFC. So all I want is a fucking burrito, but I can't get a burrito because the dickhead in front of me wants a 24-piece chicken and a burrito.
Yeah.
Asshole.
I every time I'm in
me mad.
the drive-through,
Feel better?
I'm always behind the person that has to order for their whole fucking family.
Mm-hmm.
You are in the drive-through, 1 or 2 meals, not the whole fucking menu. You don't need to
And-
order for 10 people.
and they don't fucking. They're like, get up to the thing. They've been
They
in
have no
line.
idea what they want.
And they're like,
Yeah.
hey, honey, what do you
Bell.
want?
Hold
They
on, let
have
me call.
7 ingredients arranged in different formats.
Yeah.
Which one would you like?
How do you fucking? This is something that I fucking hate when I go through a drive-through. When I go through a drive-through, if you're with me, Corey, if we're together and I'm going through the drive-through and I'm driving, so that means I'm ordering. If you say to me, "I want a McChicken with no onions," get the fuck out of my car and order it your goddamn self. I don't want that shit. I hate special ordering
Do
shit.
you know how fat I feel right now? McChickens don't come with onion stays.
I don't know that.
You don't lettuce, mayonnaise, and chicken, bro.
You don't like the spec. You don't want them to spec anything out. You're like, what do you want? A 1, a 2,
Yeah,
a 3, or
this
a
shit-
4?
if
What
this
the fuck
shit-
do you want?
Oh, yeah.
If it's not right on the menu,
Yeah.
you're not getting
Yeah,
it.
don't tell me no tomato.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to remember this
Well,
shit.
then let me out now. No, yeah, it's like ordering the Chinese food. Da-da-da-da-da. Just give me the numbers. Let's get this done with. Don't tell me 7. You want a, okay? I want a 7. You want a 7? I want a 7. Okay?
You want 7, 10 minutes.
Don't. I want the shrimp fried rice, but can they put extra shrimp in it and less peas?
See,
They
my,
want the 7. Do you get the 7?
my standard lunch at a Taco Bell is 3 Chipotle grillers and 1 potato griller.
I'm a number 6 guy, but I get what you're saying.
So I go in and they fuck it up every time, and it's got the little screen, and they're like, "Is your order right?" And I'm like, "No." And they're like, "What did you want?" And I was like, 3 Chipotle grillers and a potato griller. And they're like, "Okay, is it right?" And it's like 2 and 2. No, I wanted 3 Chipotle grillers and 1 potato griller. And then it's 3 potato growers and 1 Chipotle.
Lady,
it's
you
like,
don't get it.
right. And then you go up,
Math is
and
tough.
the lady with the fucking headphones is like looking at you like you're an asshole. When you get up to the thing, and it's like, you're the fucking bitch you can't hear.
Lady, you don't get it. I got to take 1 bite of potato for every Chipotle half, or it's not going to work. You don't get it, you lazy bitch.
Where the fuck does Chipotle come from? What the shit is that?
No, I
It's
don't know.
actually Chipotle is it's a smoked pepper.
I knew if I asked that in this room, somebody would know.
There's fat people. Come here.
Is it a Chipotle pepper that is smoked, or is it any pepper smoked becomes Chipotle?
It depends on what fucking brand you buy.
Let's
Fuck! I can't
all right,
keep up
boys.
with
Let's
this.
get to smoking some peppers. Let's see what happens.
Tabasco
Good
Chipotle.
job, Grace.
I was terrified that was a beer.
Tabasco Chipotle is the best.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that is the primo hot sauce to put on a hamburger.
Tabasco Chipotle is a specific hot sauce.
We're
Yeah,
plugging.
Tabasco.
We're plugging Tabasco.
Why are we talking about food so much, man?
Because I'm fucking really
You're hungry?
I'm really hungry.
Good Lord.
I wanted to tweet, hey, I hope those assholes at AirWreck feed us.
Are you hungry?
No, that's all right.
Well, I
Because
think
we could whip up a sandwich real quick. We have homemade bread. We might even have some lettuce out of the garden, some organic turkey, fucking store-bought regular ass mayonnaise though. It's hard to find organic mayonnaise. Although I guess we could just take some olive oil and one of our like farm eggs.
Oh, dude, it's so easy. Make your own homemade mayonnaise.
Go
is
make
better
it then.
than
Jesus, we'll keep talking.
No, I think
It's so easy.
I
Do
think
it now.
Hey, bitch, go make me a sandwich.
As long as any of you 3 fine gentlemen have no objections.
I like how you stopped to count yourself out. Wait, I'm not a fine gentleman.
have any objections and or plugs to throw out. I think it's time for us to take a little break here.
Oh, you want to take a quick break?
I think it's time.
Folks, follow Second Prince at Second Prince on Twitter. Follow us, AirWreckRadio, also AWR, Stays Ghost, and C-Pain Run.
And follow the second coming of Jesus at Johnny Redbeard.
I think you should stop right now
What do you mean?
because these people are getting too big.
Well, you know, if
They're already too big,
why?
and they're going to take over everything, and then they're going to dictate what happens in the world. You see how that works?
I trust
AirWreckRadio
more than my government.
I don't.
At least when I give
Don't
them
be-
money, I actually get something in
That's
return.
That's an evil. That's an evil corporation.
I don't think all corporations are evil.
No, just ones that are too big and too powerful.
What makes them so big and powerful?
That.
I still buy my comic books at First Print Comics.
Oh, thank you. Well, then fine. I'm dropping the subject. Then
You know,
I'm dropping it. I don't care.
there's something about
them.
There's okay.
I'm dropping it.
All
I
right.
don't need to plug them on our show.
I'm going to cut that whole spot out now that you mentioned that.
Why? They should.
Cause I don't want to plug them either. Fuck them guys.
They should pay us.
You know what?
AirWreckRadio.
Sucks balls.
Yeah.
You want me to say you don't suck? Fuck, you
Pay
give me some money.
Pay me.
That's right. You guys fucking suck.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to AirWreckRadio. It's time, once again, and as always, for headline news.
Headline news.
Tonight for headline news, we're not actually going to do our normal headline news, but we are going to start with a headline. In a recent episode of Second Prince Podcast, one of the hosts of Second Prince proclaimed an admonition against people who live tweet the things they're watching on TV and then watched WrestleMania and blew up my phone for like 3 fucking hours. Comments?
Comment.
Sporting.
Dave, comment.
Sporting/entertainment
Oh, is
event.
sporting different?
Okay.
Okay.
Which he specifically said in his rant.
Yes, I did.
Did
If
you?
you fucking actually listen to our show.
I
There's a-
listen while I run a vacuum cleaner.
Listen, if you're watching Game of Thrones on HBO, there is no fucking commercials, okay? You're watching NFL football, we all know there's 9 million commercials. It's okay to tweet during the commercials, but if you're tweeting through Game of Thrones, every little scene that happens, come on, man. Like, really? Watch the fucking show.
But
Oh
like,
my God, character X totally touched character-wise butt.
The NFL is,
139 characters.
but we're not talking about the NFL here. We're talking about WrestleMania.
Yes, and they have ads, and even if
Well,
it's
they
a
do have
pay-per-view,
ads. I mean, the relevant
Yes.
point is that they do have ads, but it's not like
There's parts like the boring parts when they're like, oh, here's this character doing some promo, and you're like, yeah, I don't fucking care. Same thing over. Then you tweet. I get your argument.
I wanted to call you out for it because you're like, you blew my phone because I get
Did
alerts. I get alerts from your show
Why?
is like the only thing I get alerts from because it reminds me to tweet things because I'm trying to be better at Twitter.
Hit the little star next to the follow button.
So
Well,
whenever
I'm
you
sorry.
guys, no, you don't have to be sorry. That's what I get for following your show, and I enjoy it. But I was reminded of the fact that you had recently thrown a minor temper tantrum.
Totally a hypocrite. Absolutely, 100%.
I just wanted to make sure.
It's okay if I do
I'm
it.
giving you this. No, I'm giving you the. You said sporting event. You're good.
Yeah, the slash sporting. Yeah,
I mean,
/ sporting event.
Yeah.
I'd like to throw that in
yeah,
there.
because that's
Slash.
sports entertainment.
There is a 30% chance I'm going to go back and listen to the episode and isolate audio out of it and put it in the break that we just listened to find out if that's true.
He is
Go right
exploiting
ahead.
a gray area here with that slash. That slash is a big gray area.
he didn't say slash, but I am saying WWE is fucking just as much of a
Sports
sport
entertainment.
as fixed NFL.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to go with that
Not even going to
for
argue
sure.
with you. Then. I'm not even going to try to argue with you. That.
Thank you
sports.
for calling me out on my shit because I totally when I said that and then I did it.
Hey,
I was thinking
tell
the
these
exact
guys
same
to go
thing.
Did you
fuck
think that?
themselves.
Oh, I was like, you know what?
Tell them to go fuck
I'm one of
themselves.
those assholes, and I'm like, whatever. It's okay if I do it. I get a pass because it's me.
You're like Richard Nixon. When the president do it, it's
It's
not
okay.
illegal.
I pardon myself. It's all good.
So, since we're in the headline news bit, the recent Supreme Court, you've heard about this, right? The recent Supreme Court decision that
That
businesses
they like Jesus
can opt out. Yeah, can opt out of healthcare
Jesus.
thanks to Jesus.
and Muslims probably.
Probably. Well, I would expect that if Christians can, Muslims should be able to too. But I know that you're an outspoken libertarian, right?
Yeah, and I think that
Terrible. at
the
this.
Supreme. I think this is one of those actual. You need a court to decide issues.
Yeah. I wish it was a different court, but I agree with you.
Wait, what's going on? Because I don't pay attention to
on
any
the
of this
on the
stuff.
one side, I don't think the government should be able to tell a business what to do. But on the other hand, I don't think the government should have anything to do with religion.
I agree 100% with what you just said.
Both the statements are true facts.
So to fill Dave in and any listeners
Flat
that
out.
don't know,
But this is one of those rare situations where those collide.
yeah, heavily, the Affordable Care Act that got pushed through, Obamacare, mandates that small business owners and large businesses mandates that a business owner has to provide health care for their employees, and that includes birth control methods like the IUD. Is that it?
Yes. Intrauterine
That sounds
device.
like improvised explosive device.
That's
I know
an
it's like
IUD.
different, but
Yeah.
that's what I always think whenever I say IUD. I'm like, I don't think I would want
Whoa.
my wife to have
Hold on. Let me make a correlation for you, right?
my wife's vibrator key stops working all the time. What's going on?
Yeah, can we
she's
get
got
that?
the EMP.
Let me make a good correlation for you. Ready? IED, dead soldier. IUD, dump your load in her.
And it will make your soldiers dead.
There it is.
That's
Man.
not how an IUD works.
IUD, intrauterine device.
How does it work? Do you
Oh,
you said that
I
like
have
you know it
vast
specifically?
Experience. Go on.
Corey had
I
one.
All-
take my
It didn't
girlfriend-
work.
All birth control works by making sure that the fetus,
The fertilized
the
egg.
fertilized
Oh, I
egg,
got
does
what you're
not
saying.
attach to the
Yeah.
uterine wall.
It
Yeah.
does not kill the sperm.
I
Spermicide, for me personally, because I think, and this is the issue. When does
life happen?
right? I believe that when the sperm
Here we
enters
go.
the egg, it's life.
Now, do you believe that your beliefs should supersede law?
No.
So
Me too. But law should be created in a way that doesn't force your beliefs.
I think
I gotta
that being
step
a
back.
libertarian, I can't say that
It matters what.
abortion or a pill should be legal. Because libertarians believe in life, liberty, and happiness.
less law.
And there's right, but you got to look at what the core of what you're protecting. I don't think birth control should be legal. Period.
You don't think that yourself?
No, not birth control. Now, I'm not talking about condoms. I'm not talking about spermicide. I'm not talking about sperm traps that a woman could insert.
The diaphragm.
Diaphragm.
Right, sperm
Or
trap,
sponges. Yeah.
whatever.
So you yourself
Jizz catcher.
anti the pill?
Yes, in fact, when I actually learned how they worked, I told my wife she couldn't take it anymore.
Really?
Oh
Well,
yeah.
it convinces the body that it's pregnant, so that any
I know that. I
seeded
know how,
eggs
well, you know what?
couldn't-
Somebody might not, but I know how it works. Good for you for standing up for your. I mean, good for you for saying you. That's,
No, I gotta
now-
ask you a question. and
I've
it's
never
a-
heard anybody. Sorry about the ring hang up there. On
I mean,
the fist
that's
bump.
that's the deal. I always thought that's when life was happened.
Well, can I ask you a question about that? Can you, in any words, and if you can, I wouldn't judge you. But can you, in any words, define to me, to try to persuade me that there's a difference between one cell and two cells? You say that moment is when you consider life.
That's true. It
'Cause
doesn't
the
start
potential
division
life
until it's
begins.
implanted.
Because potential life begins. But can you, in any words, define what is the difference between one cell, and two cells?
The only way that you could actually prove that was, I don't know.
I don't think you can prove it. I think this is a matter for faith,
I'm
even
just-
for
It
scientific
is.
people.
I won't judge anybody.
No,
I was just
you're-
curious if you had that words.
No, I don't. I have no reason except that the DNA that is going to be a person exists at that moment.
That's a thing. That's a thing. That's a good one. Once the sperm cell enters the egg, that's a complete set of DNA.
See, now-
There's 46 chromosomes now together in a single cell.
I'm a 12-week guy, and now legally 24. But I'm a 12-week guy because even though the potential for life exists when the two cells meet, I don't statistically.
It seems quiet.
It's just because he's not yelling.
The first trust me on this. The first 12 weeks are very unstable, and it's more likely for you to lose the pregnancy than it is for you to keep it. So
That's
the
like
first 12
saying,
weeks-
hey, if this fucking wire is loose in your wall, it's more likely to cause a fire, but it might not.
Well, that's
Well-
a true fact, John. I don't know what you're arguing with me here.
Well, why don't you wait and see?
Why don't we yank that bitch out and put a new one in?
Well, we're not, replacing aborted
We're- I know-
fetuses.
no, we all get the
Hey,
metaphor.
you know what? I think this is going to be a miscarriage. Let's fucking try this again. Let's just abort it.
I don't think that potential for life thing, in my opinion, really starts till after the 12-week mark when the odds drastically shift.
Well, here
towards
you're
this
saying
thing
potential.
Will
This
become.
is where we differ.
This is a difference here.
percentage
No,
of
this
potential.
is a respectable
This is-
difference to
This
have.
is a difference because I believe that life has already begun. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, the reason what verbiage that makes me feel that way is things like you said, it's got the DNA to become a human, but it doesn't have the statistical chance to become a human. Not till after the 12 weeks. Then it has the statistical
I don't think it has-
probability to become a human.
I don't think that it has a overbearing statistical improbability that makes it justifiable. To me,
Dude, it's happened twice, and it's worked both times for me.
For me-
that's 100% as far as I'm concerned.
the way I quantify
My
it
numbers would be a little different.
is that a life is not special by its very being. A life is special by the existence that it's held. I'm not saying that late-term abortions is something everybody should do as a respectable form of birth control. But what I am saying is that it is an option for, if it's going to kill somebody, why would we kill somebody who has experience versus like kamikaze pilots weren't the fucking best pilots.
Yeah,
they
no,
just
they're
weren't.
terrible,
They just
actually.
they didn't send up their aces to fucking fly into ships. So you keep the experienced people.
I'm also not against like so this kid has some weird thing. The kid's not going to be born. I'm not against aborting that. Like,
I'm with
'cause
you
that's
on
the
that
same-
too because I think
the
that's
same
There's a
like
thing.
chromosome missing from the formula.
That's the same thing as, hey, you're in a car wreck and we can leave you on these machines or let you die. It's
Yeah.
the same question. And I don't want to be left on no fucking machine. Just fucking
But
listen.
it's an interesting
These
point you bring.
assholes charge us way too much money. Fucking unplug me, really.
Can I get an amen?
You
Can
know?
I get an amen?
no, maybe.
You know what? Fuck you. You know what? Fuck you. I don't even like you anymore. But it's an interesting point you bring with the pull the plug thing because the libertarian thing you bring up. I fancy myself to at least, at very minimum, have libertarian leanings. I would really like the government to stop deciding things for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a liberalitarian. I've come to the conclusion
Okay.
that must be what I am.
In my opinion, if there are doctors who are willing to do it, and there's patients who are willing to have the procedure done, the government shouldn't have a part in that. Now, you can have your beliefs, and I can have mine, and we can all pray to the same God or a different
I
God.
totally think you should be able to sell your organs. So if you want to
I
sell
agree.
your kidney,
I think so too.
I
Go
feel.
for it.
I think I agree.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I
That's
think
your
so.
organ.
I think I
That's
agree.
yours.
It's yours
like,
to sell.
fuck, I'm going to lose my house. I need 20 grand. Let me sell a kidney.
I don't need to. Maybe. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Who wants
No,
half
I'm just
my
saying.
liver? Who wants half my? No,
Should you
no.
Should you then? But here's the thing about this. Should you then be eligible for a transplant? Should your other kidney fail? Should you then be able to
Ooh,
take
that's a
the
tricky
place?
one.
I know that's you're right.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to agree with you. You should
Especially if I have the 20 grand to buy one.
right.
Yeah, it's another point. Fuck transplants. I'll take a loan on the house and get one.
Okay, but the key here is we're not even talking about abortion, except for by a very I don't want to trivialize your opinion, but I do think that your opinion is a minority opinion.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Which doesn't take away from its respectability. It is a very good
I don't know if
opinion.
you noticed that we were both very much trying to respect your opinion, though we disagree. I don't.
No, listen, people disagree. It's fucking okay to disagree
High
with
five,
people.
Tink. All
It's
right.
better to disagree politely.
Only douchebags high five. I'm just saying.
What? Come on. You
That's
don't
why
mean
I
that.
do it all
Yeah.
the time. See? Proof positive. I do it all the time. You know why? Because I'm a fucking douchebag.
So-
All right.
The real issue here, though, is
I just high five Stacy for agreeing with me.
the real issue that just came up in the Supreme Court is that businesses now get to decide
Oh, back to
if
Hobby Lobby.
if their religion gets to dictate what health care they pay for. I've come to the conclusion that the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare,
It's totally unaffordable. My insurance went up $400 a month.
it's more than unaffordable. Like listen, I want to be very clear.
More than unaffordable.
No, I want to be very clear. So just give me a second to be very clear. I am for socialized health care, but I want it from the state because it's not constitutional from the federal government.
I can buy that.
Yeah.
The federal government doesn't have the
Just
And
like
we
I
have
can buy
decision over
that
the state
state
level.
gun laws are okay, but federal gun laws are not.
I agree with that too.
Unconstitutional.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We have a constitution.
I'm not against gun laws. If I want to live in a state like Georgia that lets you fucking carry a pistol wherever the fuck I want,
Welcome to
then I can
Georgia.
move to
Right.
Georgia.
Welcome to Georgia. You want to live in New York State where it's a lot harder? You got to go through more qualifications? Welcome to New York.
Right.
Right.
Like, that's what the fucking union was supposed to be about.
Having a bunch of free places where you
the
didn't need a
United
passport.
States of America.
It's about being able to travel without needing a passport, without needing to know a different language. It's about knowing the culture already and being free to move around in that culture. How long do you think it's going to be before the TSA starts fucking treating inter-U.S. travel like they treat intercontinental travel?
6 years probably.
I think it's within the decade.
Where you need
Yeah.
an enhanced license to go to Pennsylvania all
Yeah,
of a sudden?
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, if
You
you're
already
in the
need. Funny thing you should mention that. For me to take my motorcycle out of state, I have to buy special insurance. New York State insurance. Yeah, for my motorcycle. For my car, I can go anywhere in the continental United States. I can go to Canada in my car, and that's fine.
Insurance covered.
But on my motorcycle, can't leave the state with the insurance I currently have.
Wow, that's gonna fuck me up because I want to buy an Elio, and even though it looks like a car, they classify it as a motorcycle.
What is that? One of those like smart
I'm
cars
lost.
with a Ducati motor? What is it?
It's a
Those are
3-cylinder motor.
Uh huh.
It's got 2 wheels in the front and 1 in the back, but
Okay.
it has a full body.
Oh, all right. Okay,
And
I've
it's a
seen those.
2-seater with 1 in the front, 1 in the back. It's supposed to come out in fall next year. I'm totally for this car. I want one. They're $6,800 is their MSRP.
What's their mileage like?
84 miles to the gallon.
Wow,
On
for
gas?
less than 10
On
grand.
gas.
Yeah.
For less than 10 grand.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
like,
whoa.
hey,
What's the warranty look like on this bad boy?
it's shit. It's a terrible warranty.
Okay.
Like 2 years.
I'm stating the facts here.
I
This
sell
is
cars. I gotta
Hey,
know
listen,
this.
no. for 10 grand, fuck your warranty.
6,800.
Like for less than 10 grand,
I could buy
significantly
one.
less.
Significantly less than 6,800.
For 68% of 10 grand.
right.
Then they're going to be like, "Oh, your car's broken. That will be 10 grand, please." Right?
Anyways, I'm all in on this. I want one. I'm like, fuck, I drive 30 miles to work every day. Like, that's great. And I drive a fuel efficient car now, but it's like 35 miles to the gallon. Like, I can double that.
Doesn't
you
that
know?
piss you off that 35 miles a gallon is classified as fuel efficient?
I got 41.
That makes me
Fuck
so
you.
angry. On what? Wait.
41.
Mazdas.
Oh, fuck your Mazdas. You stupid Jap cars. Nobody wants that shit.
I have a Jap car too.
Well, fuck your Jap car, too.
No. Know what? Fuck American cars.
They're all American cars.
Fuck American cars, John. Fuck them. Fuck them. And
They don't know how to engineer
Whoa.
anything.
If there is an
Chrysler's are
exception.
fucking garbage.
Whoa.
And
Chrysler's,
fucking
whoa.
Chevys
hold
are
on.
garbage. Ford
stop.
makes a good car.
Ford makes an amazing car.
Here's the thing. Chrysler's are an import. Their commercials even tell you so. So don't classify them as American cars.
He's like,
That
"Whoa."
is true. They
They're
are
the
owned
American
by
import.
a fucking
I gotta tell you, I didn't see
Italian
that coming.
company. Fiat owns
I have to
Chrysler.
defend
Yeah.
Ford.
Yeah.
As a guy who's in the car business, so Stace, I have to defend Ford. I have to defend them thoroughly. They're not free of sin, but they've definitely made a quality automobile coming out of the position they were in. See, I'm a poet.
I don't even know
that
about
shit.
that. Like, I had a
See,
Ford
think of it.
F-150, and it fucking kicked ass. This is way before they were in trouble. It was awesome truck. I loved it.
The #1 best-selling car of all time in the world, F-150.
And the second car that I owned that was a Ford that was awesome, while I owned a Lincoln too, and that was pretty awesome, was my Ford Escort.
All right, let me tell you. Look,
I drove that thing 209,000 miles
nice.
before I traded it, and I know the guy that's still fucking driving it now.
And
this is
Escorts were junk,
3
too.
years
So
after
good
I
job.
drove it. I replaced the transmission twice.
Quick story. My grandfather moved here from Canada before he brought his family, and he got a job at GM. And then he, brought his family down from Canada. He worked at GM for 27 years and retired from the full pension. We had a full family discount. Everybody in the family was covered with the discount to buy GM products. We are a GM city. We were a GM family. General Motors all the way. For 20 years, General Motors sold such shitty cars that it caused them to go bankrupt. But they were too big to fail. Too big to fail, sir. Too big to fail. So,
Corporate welfare is a crime.
So, let me get this straight.
Just
They
saying.
stole my money by selling me shit cars for 20 years. Then they were too big to fail, so they stole my money out of the tax pot in order to build a new line of cars.
Which out of them and Chrysler, they were the only one that stole money.
To be fair, the reason Ford didn't have to
There's a bunch of other...
is because they They kind of fudged some numbers on some grants that they got. But that's a little different. I think we can all agree that that's a little bit of a different thing.
I love you. I'm on my GM rant. Let me finish.
Continue.
They took my tax money out of the pot to build a new line of cars that fucking kill people.
They do.
13 people dead for a problem that they knew about before they put it in the car with my tax money. Fuck GM. Fuck Dodge. American car companies can go to hell.
Except Ford.
They're doing a good job.
They're making an aluminum F-150 next year.
They are, too. It's amazing.
Out of aircraft aluminum. I
Yeah.
mean, like spacecraft aluminum. It's
high
fucking...
tensile.
Aluminum's the new fucking steel, bitch. It's going to be great.
Awesome.
I love my Fords that I've driven. I do. I did replace the transmission twice in the Escort.
Ford never been known for the transmissions.
Well, they
Ever,
have been known
ever.
for bad transmissions.
There you go.
But
The Taurus.
the reason I loved that car was I paid like nothing. It had 10,000 miles on it when I bought it.
That's low mileage for a used car. Would you pay 12?
It was a repo. I
Sweet.
paid $3,800.
Nice.
Fucking repo.
I paid $3,800 for this. It was a repo. It was 3 years old when I bought it.
Yeah.
It had 10,000 miles on it. It was like the dream fucking eBay auction I won.
You got that on eBay?
Fuck
That sounds
yeah, I
like a
did.
dream eBay price.
It was a dream eBay price. And I fucking drove that thing forever. I replaced the transmission at 70,000 miles. And the guy who bought it right when I sold it replaced it again at 208.
Looks
and I
like-
bought a used transmission the second time.
Sounds to me like you sold it at just the right time. Wait.
Yeah,
You
but
did it twice?
I had no payments. I didn't replace it twice, but the guy who bought it
Okay, he
it.
replaced it. Yeah. Okay, great.
So it's not even true, but it needed a new transmission when I got rid of it.
Well, that's
so-
why you get rid of something. I already put one transmission in it.
I
This
sold-
thing's got to
Dude,
go.
I got $1,000 for it. And
How many years did you have it?
8.
If America
8 years.
if everybody in America, if even 50% more people in America could choose to buy cars that way, because that's how I buy cars too. I keep a car for as long as it keeps running, and I don't have a car payment on it. I had a car payment once in my life. Fucking god damn it, that was stupid. I won't do it again.
You know, I drive a Toyota Yaris now. When I buy my Elio, I have no intentions of selling my Yaris.
Yeah.
That
No,
has
because you
been
want something for
That has
with
been
4
the
wheels.
best fucking car I've ever owned. Well, I have a kid and another kid on the way.
Yeah.
Is that a
If I-
hatchback, the Yaris?
Or
Or is that a tiny
now
four-door?
you can only get it in a hatchback.
Okay.
4-door. You can get a 4-door hatchback, but you can't get the sedan anymore. I have
Nobody makes a sedan.
I have a 2009.
Everyone wants to go with the hatchback now.
I have a
Yeah.
2009 Yaris sedan.
Okay.
I'm not getting rid of that. But my drive to work car is going to be the Elio. Or my drive to Albany car. Or my drive to... I drive a lot.
Yeah, when it's just you. I'm sorry, I said sedan. Nobody makes a coupe anymore, is what I meant to say.
So the Elio is a 2-seater, and they're a front seat and a back seat.
Yeah, I heard that.
Oh, that's why it's classified as a motorcycle right there.
Can I ask a real quick question? Since I've been away from the conversation for a half a second, have you said a single word since I left?
He said a couple yeps and nopes.
All right. What kind of car do you drive?
I drive a Subaru Impreza.
A Subaru Impreza.
Now,
A
What do
WRX
you
or
feel about the domestic versus foreign?
well, he drives a Subaru, so it doesn't really count because Subaru. No, because Subaru people
No, he can
have
say
the most
that
awesome
they've
cars.
owned GMs and they fucking blow.
I've had Chevys.
They blow head gaskets. That's
I had Chevys when my
Dude, I
first
had
couple
a Blazer
cars, and
was
then
the worst fucking car I ever had, ever. And I had an S10, but I had the 2.8, not the 4.3, and that was a pretty fucking good truck.
You had that 2.8, and you preferred that over a 4.3.
Yeah, the 4.3, although it fucking kicks ass.
That Vortec
like,
is badass, dude. That's a good motor.
It'll pull something up a hill.
This is what you're, but higher failure rate.
Sure is. What were you saying?
Oh, I drove GM. I had a Chevy, I had an S10, I had the 4.3, same truck. It was awesome. I loved it, but that was my second car.
Yeah.
Or vehicle, whatever. I had all kinds of problems with it and stuff like that. So I went to Subaru, and don't work on cars. I don't know anything about cars. I don't give a shit. I don't want to learn. I don't care.
You must be loving this conversation then.
So no, it's cool. But it's interesting with the companies and the bailouts. I find that interesting.
I drove I fucking replaced every I spent
John.
Wheel bearings.
I'm sorry.
Wheel bearings.
I have a Subaru now, and I love it. There you go. And I don't think it's the best car.
Like watching us.
I don't think it's the best car, and I'm not going to force it on anybody. But I enjoy it.
I
And
had a
that's it.
Subaru that I hated.
Yeah.
I fucking loved that car. I hated it. I hated this. It was an Outback wagon, a Brighton, a Legacy Brighton is what they called it back in '98 when I bought this thing 5 years after it was new. It needed oil like I need water. like
every day.
Like seriously, I didn't even need to drive it for it to need more oil. This
However,
fucking thing needed oil.
Did you ever see a road or a storm or a rainstorm
Never.
that you feared?
That fucking car would go through the apocalypse as long as I had enough oil for it. That thing was great, but I fucking because like it was a station wagon, dude. Come on, I'm not a station
With the best
wagon
four-wheel
person.
drive on the planet.
But the Subaru makes a great car to drive.
I had an S10
Gas mileage sucks.
Blazer, and that thing was such a piece of shit. I had a Porsche, right? I had a Porsche, so I had a couple four-wheelers.
Wait, you had a Porsche
I had
and a couple four-wheelers?
I had a couple
Jesus, big
four-wheelers.
dog.
I had a couple four-wheelers, and I traded them for a Porsche.
Good trade.
Even trade.
Fair enough.
That sounds like. I mean, what kind of Porsche are we talking
Did it
about
have a
here?
motor? Like,
It was an 84
Carrera?
911. It's an 84 911, and if I fixed it up, I could probably get 12 or 13,000.
Sure.
You still got this bad boy?
So my wife finds this fucking
No.
S10
This is what he does all the time to me.
that this
Never
fucking
answers.
dickhead.
I think it's
owns.
coming.
And she just loves it. The body's good on it and everything, and I'm
It's
like,
Oh,
an S10.
Was it two-door or four-door?
it was a 4-door, and it was
Oh, a fancy one.
is a Blazer. Sorry,
With a a Blazer.
is S10.
I love Blazers,
whatever.
but I can do.
It was when they
the
still
things
called
they
it
need.
an S10 Blazer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Right.
that car is a piece of shit. I don't want to fucking do this. Like, I want to keep this Porsche over time, fucking slowly fix it up, and
a
then
good
make
project
some
car.
fucking good money on it.
Hell yeah, you're gonna make
'Cause
some
I'm
money on a
not-
Porsche.
I'm not.
Or you have a car you love.
I'm not into. I'm not into cars, and I'm not into driving fast.
I'm not into driving fast either, but I sure like speeding.
What?
But she talks me into it.
You don't drive a
we
bike.
trade it, and this fucking truck, like $3,000 later, we finally fucking get rid of the truck for a Toyota, and it was a good
For the
fucking
Yaris?
move. No, for a Corolla. Now she drives a Mazda.
Oh
Our
my
Corolla's
God!
a
Wait,
car.
you moved from
She
a
went-
Blazer to a
she drives a
Yaris.
what now?
Yeah, that's a good move. Or, I'm sorry,
said-
you moved from a Blazer to a Corolla. That's a good move.
That's a move. What she drives what now?
A Mazda 5.
Oh my God, the microvan. At what year? Never mind.
I love it.
I went into shop
love
talk,
it
it's
when
a
you start
podcast.
talking about the shit
I
you
can't
sell.
help it.
2013.
Oh, very nice. Let me know when you're ready to trade that bitch in.
I tell you what, it was a good decision, and she loves the Mazda. So.
Well, everybody who drives that Mazda 5 loves that thing. Can we stop talking about this on the podcast and move on to something more interesting than my salesman?
I would love to never
See,
talk about you selling
you
cars.
only you only
Except
think
for,
that
like,
because
in
you
banter.
sell cars, but I'm interested because I don't sell cars.
Have you tried the new Focus? It's terrific.
compared to the 5.
I don't know.
I tell you what,
I don't buy Jap cars.
Every sync,
even though they're
thing
made in
that I have
America.
done, every
No? Good.
sync,
Then I don't buy Jap cars.
sync is fucking garbage. That's
Ford,
all I want to
Ford
say.
Sync?
It's
Yes.
terrible. It's awful.
It is fucking terrible.
I don't even know what
clean
that
them.
is.
Dude, I don't know. I
We're
just clean
selling
them.
Ford Mazda Connect so that they can upgrade Sync. They're using our software next year.
All right.
It's
Dave doesn't
fucking
know what it is. Let's
terrible.
tell him what it is. Sync is like what happens when a car manufacturer decides they want to make your phone work with your car, but unfortunately, you don't know what the fuck they're doing because
Okay,
like
I got that shit.
phones
going
don't
on.
have
I don't
wheels.
use it on the car. Sorry, I
On the
have that.
Subaru?
Yeah, I have it.
Oh.
I never use it.
Oh my God, it's a terrible podcast.
No, it's not. It's great. People love it.
I've just rented cars and fucking Ford. Like I've rented a few Fords.
I don't know why they don't just use
and it's
Bluetooth.
Fucall
Fuck.
it does use Bluetooth.
But they're all
Yeah, but
Bluetooth.
like
the thing
just
doesn't work.
have it be Bluetooth
Like,
and don't
so-
make it be fancier than that. Just
so-
let the phone handle it.
So I go in and I fucking play my audiobook, right?
yeah.
I drive from Charlotte to Durham because this is what I do for work. And I go
Yeah.
I fly into Charlotte, I rent a car, and then I fucking drive to Durham. I get to Durham.
Because you
I
can't
fucking
fly into
hit-
Durham on something that has 2 engines. Got it.
right. So no, it's because I have to drive back to Charlotte for the second
It
half
was
of my
a
trip.
terrible joke, but I get it.
Anyways, so I fucking put a pause on my fucking book.
Your audiobook.
Right.
From audible.com. No? Yes? No?
No, they don't
I'm not
pay us.
plugging anybody. I'm just saying.
For the amount of fucking books I listen to, they ought to be paying me something.
Right. So then I do that bullshit and I get back into my car a couple days later when I have to drive back to Charlotte and I hit fucking play and it fucking is at the exact spot I hit play on when I was in fucking Charlotte. It forgets.
Oh, it
What I'm
started
listening-
over?
It forgot everything I listened to. Now I have a Bluetooth fucking stereo at home
Wait. I
that
want to
doesn't do that.
I want to clarify. You were using Sync
Correct.
and it forgot everything that you fuck that.
So it's like now I gotta hit fast forward like while Audible.
I listen to
sorry.
audiobooks.
Yeah,
that
We
sucks.
all knew it was Audible. That's why I plugged them. Move on.
So I have to hit.
Podcast.
I have to go past 30 seconds like 8,000 times before I find my spot again. And I guess the thing is, I should have marked with a
I'd
bookmark
have just started
first.
that chapter over. Fuck it.
Well, I don't know. I don't look. I just fucking unplug the thing and leave and expect it to fucking work the way it's goddamn supposed to.
That's the thing.
Now I've rented Nissans, Toyotas, my fucking stereo at home, and it all works the way it's fucking supposed to.
These
I
car
hate you.
a
manufacturers,
sync doesn't work.
these car manufacturers that have their own
Don't
cell
forget
phone,
our technology.
they have their own cell phone interface. That's fucking stupid. Car manufacturers.
You connect at
you
fucking
just make the
Toyota
car.
works great. I'm just saying.
You just make the car and make the stereo Bluetooth and let the fucking people with the phones that can handle it. Because if your phone doesn't handle it, you probably don't use that service.
I hate to beat my wardrobe. On Thursday,
I disagree with that statement.
I love to beat my wardrobe.
There you go.
On Thursday, I drove a Mazda 3. From
All right, enough with the
Rochester.
cars.
Jesus,
To
Mazda. I
And
feel like
our-
the Brady Bunch's ugly
for
sister.
Albany.
I
and
do
then
love my
Albany
Mazda.
back. I never had a problem all the way. Never had a problem. I listened to Sirius Satellite Radio. I used Google Maps. I Bluetooth my phone.
We
for
bought the
phone
base
calls.
model, and
I
it's
love it.
pretty kick-ass. All right, let's move on.
We can move on. I asked to move on from cars like 20 minutes ago, and everyone
I
told me
know.
I was a fucking asshole.
But now I'm sick of it.
The story I promised from the beginning of the show.
Let's
Walmart
get to it.
employs 1% of America. Should it, Walmart, be forced to pay its employees more?
Fuck no.
I agree. Force
Force is the wrong
is
word.
not the right word.
If you felt morally obliged, considering you
However-
were that big enough, then fine.
If they're
Force-
employees,
Don't point. say it.
No, because I know he's going to jump in and cut me off. So
I'll turn his mic off.
Go ahead,
I know where
dickhead.
the mute button is.
Come on,
no,
asshole.
I completely
You gonna
agree.
talk or what?
Exactly.
go ahead.
Have another beer there, sir.
AirWreckRadio is a bad influence. Just check your parents.
That's not true. AirWreckRadio is the best influence.
Who's forcing
Tell your parents.
Who's forcing them to do this? The government? Is that
there's a big debate right now about raising the minimum wage.
Don't do it.
Why not?
Why not? Seattle has a $15
Let him
an
rock.
hour
Let's let him rock
fucking
for a minute.
minimum wage. That means the price of everything is going to go up. Then you're going to have 2 people working in a fucking McDonald's making $15 an hour when you need 6 people staffed. Go.
John.
All right, so I've fucking said this rant a billion times.
Not
Now
here.
you're on our show.
Yeah.
Go.
In 1997,
Wait, what are you
minimum
talking
wage-
about?
Minimum wage was $4.25.
He's talking
an
about
hour.
Nirvana, dude.
I love Nirvana. Minimum wage was $4.25.
Don't
an
throw him
hour.
off his game.
425,
Beer
bro.
was the greatest album that
My
ever-
fucking 3-bedroom apartment flat was 300.
Really captivating.
Was $350 a month.
Is flat because he did it in England.
Yeah, Silver Springs, New York.
No, a flat is a
It's
different
clearly-
kind of apartment. That's a kind of apartment. It's just common in England.
It's just relax.
No, I won't.
It seemed like a
All
flat.
right, be uptight.
I
You
will.
walked in, there was a huge area with the kitchen and the living room, and then there were 3 bedrooms, like, kind of.
What's the moral to the
side.
story?
The fucking rent goes up when the fucking minimum wage goes up.
There
That's
you
the
go.
fucking
The
point.
rent's too damn high.
Is that what you're saying? Is the rent too
Thank
damn
you.
high?
That same apartment right now is fucking $750 a month.
Because the minimum wage
Oh.
went around.
$425, and now it's like even higher than doubling by 100.
Yesterday, the Census Bureau revealed that an astounding 44 million Americans live in poverty. This is the highest number ever, and a jump
Fuck them people.
of 4 million from the prior year. Inequality in the country is getting ever more extreme. The richest 1% of the country owns a third of the country's assets, and the poorer 50% owns less than 2.5%.
Get off your ass and fucking find a better job.
We can't.
Because they're not.
There is
there's
no
no
jobs.
jobs.
They're not there.
The jobs aren't
I
there.
kind of agree with you there, but get off
Remember
your
how-
ass anyways.
Here's the thing: you're going to hire the minimum wage. You're going to hire those companies. Okay, you're going to force Walmart to hire the minimum wage. Well, guess what? Then they're going to carry 50 less employees. Then, right? So then you're going to
Or
get shitty service.
1,000 less products.
You're going to get shitty service.
You all,
and
wait,
a
hold
higher-
on. Whoa. At Walmart,
All right, hold on.
No, I think
You got me there for sure.
I got nothing.
You're like,
Backpedal,
shitty, wait.
backpedal.
More shitty than it is now.
I don't agree with that. I think they will have less employees, and so as a result, instead of getting
Higher?
shitty cash, because
Okay.
people talk all the time.
Or it might
let me
be
just
a
go for a
boon
second.
for niche markets. Because Walmart might have to cut back
Right.
a ton of fucking
And aren't-
product.
Hardware stores are back in business.
Aren't niche markets the best things that can happen for small business owners? Here's the thing: Walmart has automated. You can check out
Self-checkouts.
with a robot. A robot can
Yes.
check you out. And people tell me all the time, I don't go to those because I want to support jobs. I don't give a fuck about that job. Like, I would love to give a fuck about that job, but until the person working that job starts giving a fuck about doing their job, fuck you. I don't care about your job.
I use those because I don't want to talk to the employees.
I don't want to deal
How
with the
about
rude.
that?
I don't want.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't want to
I
talk
tell
to the
you
employee.
what, the biggest thing, I'm moving from Byron to Brockport. And I tell you, the biggest thing I'm going to miss about Byron is the local hardware store.
No shit. I go to a local hardware store also. It's
I-
nice. They know me. I know them.
Fucking love the lady that works at it. Most of the time, her prices are competitive.
Very
which
competitive
is
these
another
days.
thing that fucking people don't realize.
The thing people think about though is that like now I got to go to 2 stores. I can't buy a TV and apples from 2 different places.
I can't get tires and mayonnaise in
The
the
only
same
thing
spot.
I can't get at my local hardware store, like readily available, is like if I need a fucking
I need
lumber,
a screw.
lumber
I
or-
need 1 screw.
lumber or roof.
Well, I like to hear your.
You know what I
opinion.
mean?
I like
Like
to hear your
something
opinion
big.
on that.
They could get it for me, but I have to wait. Where I can go to Home Depot and just buy it.
Or you can stand behind the counter and ask the guy, I'm doing this project. Should I use a softwood or a hardwood? Because I don't know. I'm just a homeowner.
Hey, guess what?
I don't
the
even know
bitch
enough
that
to
owns
answer
the
that question.
local hardware store knows the answer.
Yeah.
And I
Home
love...
Depot,
Right.
Let me get a manager.
Byron Hardware is great. And I also a Litsack when I lived in Perry.
Licksack?
A Litsack. It's cast iron.
Licksack.
Licksack.
Cast
It's-
style.
Cast iron spelled backwards.
The
A
back,
Litsack.
back what?
Wait.
Really?
Did you live in a Licksack or cast style?
around
I lived in Perry, but I went to Cast Isle, the neighboring town. That
They
was
have
the
a
hardware
terrific
store I went
golf
to.
course where I played the best game of golf I've ever played.
Cast Isle or Perry?
Cast style.
Yeah, style. It's got a nice golf course.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, well,
Now you know.
Now you're sad
now
about
you
it.
know.
So
It's
wait,
an
what's
ABC
your
commercial.
what's your guys' opinion about the minimum wage?
All right.
Are they or should
You want to
Walmart-
rock, paper, scissors for it so we
What-
cannot talk over each other, our answers over this?
No, because we both know this process. Just go.
All right. When it comes to the minimum wage, here's my thing. I don't necessarily think it's right to have to federally mandate better wages for your working class who can't get manufacturing jobs that pay reasonable wages anymore. Now everybody works in service. I don't think it's right to force employers to pay service wages, to service employees better wage. I don't think it's right to force businesses to do anything. But if those businesses don't fucking start doing it themselves, either the federal government's going to do it or the fucking people are going to do it. And I'll tell you what, you're going to like it better when the federal government does it. Because if the people do it, we're doing it with pitchforks and torches. Shit is ridiculous.
Amen.
The top 1% has made a good billion dollars since the Bush tax cuts went into effect. And there's no
your
denying
sweat.
that. They're bankrupt. Those tax cuts are bankrupting the government. Regardless of what the government does with the money, take that and set it aside because whoever was paying it would still be paying it. So take what they do with the money.
This goes into something else I think would be fairer. They should do a wealth tax, not an income tax.
What do you mean?
So
Yeah, details.
they fucking tax your wealth, not your income.
So
It's save
All right.
money, not earn money.
the number
It's all your money, not your fucking earned money.
I like that.
It's an interesting.
I like that because then if you're sitting on it, it gets redispersed because it's not okay to just sit on millions. It's not okay.
I see
you
it all
can,
the time. It's
you can
called
sit on
hoarding.
You can
It's
sit on a
money
couple million.
hoarding.
Well, it's another thing with like the capital gains tax. They should put capital gains, which is only taxed on stuff you sold,
Yeah.
by the way, not on stuff you fucking actually still
As
hold.
own as an asset. It's things you sold for a profit.
Right. That's the only thing you get taxed on for capital gains. Should be taxed as fucking income. It's income.
Income used to be taxed.
It's not now.
Before the
It's 15%. That's capped.
right.
And that was to fucking
Which
that,
you pay.
I do.
that was to encourage
You're right. I do.
middle class people to invest.
What
But
that
they put us in this situation where we have to invest in a 401k instead of investing ourselves. So then it's a big fucking
Right, they-
hassle to get any of that fucking money out.
they take your ability to manage your own money away when you're middle class. In the middle class carries this fucking country, and it is shrinking rapidly.
I want to tell you, I needed money. I need money.
I need
They
money
gave
too.
it to me, and it was a big fucking hassle to get fucking money out of my 401k to fucking help me buy a new house. is a fucking pain in the ass. It is not right at all.
We had to do that as well.
I'm sorry.
When we bought the house, we also had to take money out of the 401k, and it was. I mean, we're still dealing with the tax mess that it made.
Government. I'm sorry. I can't help it. More government intrusion.
Yeah.
More government intrusion. Let's spike it at 15 so the rich can get away from paying more, and so we can tax
here's the
middle
thing.
class to its max. But force you to invest into the 401k. Force you to invest in the government sanctioned, the corporate sanctioned investment routes. And instead of controlling your own money, more government control.
Meanwhile,
less freedom.
If you have an HSA, you can't contribute more than $2,500 a year to it. What the fuck does that?
That's not quite correct.
Correct me?
It's 35 and 65, single and family.
I recently heard in a book
65-40.
I was listening to that might be outdated because it's a book, 25. But 35 and 65 still. This is my HSA. How about I put whatever I fucking want into
I have it. Let's see.
This is
it.
mine.
Well, there you
I'll
go.
do what I want with
right.
it. Right?
Yeah, it's 65
I
something
completely agree.
with the max. Well, the deal is if you look at those, they're aligned with deductible plans.
Health insurance is a fucking wreck, by the way.
So if I'm in
I love my health insurance. It's non-existent.
If I'm in a $2,600 deductible plan, I can put for a family, I can put $3,500 in. $3,500 in as for my HSA. If I'm in a $6,000 plan, I can put $6,500 in. Now, the real deal that screws you is that your out-of-pocket maximum on the $2,600 plan is $6,000. On the $6,000 plan, your out-of-pocket maximum is $6,000.
Of course it is.
So your health savings account on the $2,500
Can't cover
plan,
your out of pocket.
which is fucking bullshit.
How about
So you're right, but I'm on the $6,000 plan because last year I was on the $2,600 plan, and if I stayed on that plan, it would cost me $400 a month. Now it only costs me $80 a month. to
How much-
Stay on the
how much was the rent for your first apartment?
$350.
Right.
My mortgage is $1,300 now.
Here's my opinion on
I'm
healthcare.
just saying.
In a nutshell. My opinion on healthcare in a nutshell. We all need it. Why don't we all just have it? Why don't we all just have Medicare? Honestly,
Dude, a single player plan, if it wasn't
dicked up, if it wasn't fucked up by the bureaucrats that would fuck it up, is that what you were about to say?
pretty much,
Okay.
if it wasn't administered by the people that administer everything, it would be good. It would be very good.
That's why I think it should be state run, because the states at least still do a good job.
if
They're
you
small
look-
enough to do a good job.
If you look at insurance and be like, take the profit versus the deductible
Yeah.
plus what people actually pay, and then divide it amongst everybody.
Do a little simple algebra here. Yeah.
It would fucking work very well.
Very
the
well.
X
For
to the
cheaper,
Y.
too, because we wouldn't need the government.
Way better because you're taking the profit versus what
The profit.
For example,
you can, when the state government's doing it, you can take profit right out of the picture, because this isn't. We don't need
versus-
healthcare to turn a profit.
For example, the year before Obamacare went into effect, the 6 major hospitals are the 6 hospitals in Rochester, the 6 hospital systems in Rochester.
Yeah.
And I know maybe this isn't fair against the rest of the country. I don't know what the rest of the country looks like. But the DNC publishes what their non-payment is every year.
the accounts that went unpaid.
And the worst one was 3%.
3%.
Where's the fucking emergency over?
So why did it need to be
That's
fixed?
pretty okay.
Like 3%
That's
not
pretty
paying
all
your
right.
bill?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
On some of these subjects that we brush over.
No, well, the real question was: should Walmart be forced to?
We were in the middle of a news
so
story.
The whole question was:
don't do
was
that.
Walmart forced to pay their employees more money? No, they shouldn't be forced. But should they feel morally obligated to, like you said,
That's
to,
it.
to give them money? Yes.
Absolutely.
If you have employees that can't buy their Thanksgiving dinner, but you know,
But they had to sell it to somebody else.
Let's
Right,
talk about
right.
Target here
Come on.
instead of Walmart then.
It's
And
a,
going
I don't
back-
see that there's a difference. But
Going back to healthcare. Because this is something Target did.
do you know something specific?
Yes.
Regale us.
So Target reduced their full-time employees to part-time employees.
Oh, that fucking 35-hour loophole. That's bullshit. That
scummy.
That
They
right there. That is
fucking-
exactly why we don't need a
No,
federal
this has
system.
to do with healthcare.
I know, but that's why the Fed
They
should be
reduced,
administering
hours.
it.
they reduced hours just enough because they're like, our employees will make more getting subsidized health care through the fucking meta banks or whatever the fuck
whatever.
they call them
Fair enough.
than they will with us providing health care now that we have to. And you know what? On Target, it's like, good for you for fucking protecting your employees' fucking paycheck.
This is an
But
example
on
of
the
what's
second
wrong.
hand, it's like, you just fucking made all the Target employees fucking subsidized by me.
Right, now I have to pay for Target employees. Target's net income applicable to common shares is $1,971,000. It's not nearly what Walmart's is. Basically, when we're talking about Target, we are not talking about Walmart. We're talking about the store I go to not have to deal with Walmart people.
You do that too?
Yes, I do. I absolutely do.
Target's pretty terrible too, though.
I rarely go to either of those places. I have Amazon Prime. I can wait 2 days.
I hate Amazon.
it's terrible.
I hate Amazon too for the same reason you do.
Do you?
But
Yeah,
you're still
I think so.
feeding, You're still feeding the corporate machine.
Wait, they're going to have Amazon stores.
You have
right?
to. Where the fuck else? Why would they?
Why not?
But the whole
Because-
point of Amazon is I don't have to go
Well,
fucking
Exactly.
you
but
own
wouldn't
a
it be,
store.
Wouldn't it be great to put everyone else out of business too?
But you own a store. Isn't that very expensive?
It's absolutely very expensive.
Well, isn't it much cheaper to just own a website and a warehouse
It absolutely would be.
and drones?
Well, I probably couldn't afford maybe
Or
a
at least-
drone.
Or at
maybe.
least get a press release that says we're going to have drones
Yeah.
and then never actually produce drones
Be a
because
bunch
that's
of buzz that'll get your attention.
woefully inefficient.
Well, I think it's a pretty cool thing to have drones. I mean, the president's got a bunch, right?
He must.
And
He
He
at least
fucking even kills American
Yes.
citizens with them. Good job.
we talked about
But in
that.
foreign lands. But in foreign lands, so it's okay.
And they had foreigners'
okay.
names.
Fuck
So
that
that's
okay.
fucking
radios for
guy.
radio.
You know what,
Okay.
John?
George Bush, Ronald Reagan. Well, he's dead, so it don't matter. Fucking all them assholes should fucking be thrown in prison.
John, the
All
last
of
time
them.
I was on your show, you and I recently disagreed about drone strikes on American citizens. We had a disagreement about that.
What, you think it's okay?
No, I said I don't think it's just Obama, and you did not like that I said that. And
Really?
I went back and I studied.
Yes.
I learned. Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I really said that.
These guys do their homework.
No,
unlike
I
us.
said it, and you refuted it.
I must have been drinking.
We were
I was there,
drinking,
so you probably were
we
drinking.
were drinking, and we were all really combative that day too. We were all really arguing.
Especially
'Cause I
since
would
you were,
probably
especially
say-
since you were doing the mental overload show that particular day.
And I was gearing up.
I really think
No, you
I
were at
really
a different
think
show.
that it wouldn't matter who was president.
That's what I was saying. When I disagreed with you and we disagreed respectively, I said I don't think it's just Obama, but you did not say it wouldn't matter who's president, because that was the point I was making, was that it doesn't matter who's president. They have this ability now.
I probably didn't understand what you were saying.
And they
'cause I
have
was
this
drunk.
sure.
That happens around us.
They have this this totally placable population that just lets them get away with every fucking thing. It's not
the
okay.
American people are fucking terrible.
They're not terrible.
No, they are terrible.
They're just dumb.
They're not dumb
They
either.
don't give a shit. That's the problem.
I don't even think it's that they don't give a shit. I think it's that they've been trained to not know how to give a shit.
True facts.
I really think that it's a simple training problem.
Wow, that was. I just recently read an article about student loans that talks about that whole thing.
Everybody knows
And that the
you got to go to
student-
college.
the
You got to go to
student-
college. You
the
have to.
student loan program has everything to do with why people don't protest at schools.
I
'Cause
believe
you get
that.
thrown out and lose your fucking financing, and then you're boned. Because we're taught that we have to go to school in order to succeed.
And that school
Yes.
has to be in a boring room where you're presented with boring facts that you will regurgitate at a boring
now-
test.
And the worst thing
Yes.
is the fucking corporate America is bought into it all.
And now,
corporate
you're-
America sold it. They didn't buy into it. They sold it.
And now you're 50, 60 grand in debt to go
Well,
to
yeah,
this
it gets good
corporate
slaves.
machine called the man's school. And you get out, and you're in this debt, and you get a terrible job because you're still entry level, and you spend the rest of your fucking life paying this debt off.
You get a terrible job, but in Seattle it's $15 an hour, so you take that job away from somebody else.
Now buy a house, and you're on the hook for the next 30 fucking years, pal. Now, unless you're
Well, they're
making good
saying
money,
the
you can
biggest
pay it
problem
off.
is like these kids have these looming debts, so they don't buy houses. They don't even stimulate. The
No, they can't do
economy.
anything for
They
the
can't.
economy.
They're
They can't even
fucking
make more
scared.
American. They can't even make more Americans. They're so buried in debt they can't even reproduce responsibly because they're so buried. They have these huge debts to pay.
Now you have your hospital debt,
And those debts don't pay for a fucking thing. They don't guarantee. It's not a business transaction when you go to school. When you go to school,
My
what it should be is
college
I'm paying for a
education-
product.
My college education was 2 years at a community college where I learned a ton of shit.
Yeah.
I learned a ton.
No, there's a ton of shit, life shit, right? And then
No,
the
no,
school
no.
shit
In
too.
the job I wanted to go to.
Okay.
I learned a ton because I paid attention and I fucking wanted to learn the shit.
Do you feel that you?
Now my third and fourth years of school were fucking
I was
absolute.
Fair enough.
No,
No?
no, I wasn't. I fucking did it as an adult, and I fucking did it, and I did a good job.
So your third and fourth years,
A waste of fucking time.
you already knew what you needed. Not
Fuck-
just time,
Fuck yeah, I did.
not just time,
Yeah.
money, finance
But you needed
money.
a title.
You
But
needed that piece of
the
paper.
title
Yeah.
that comes
I
with
needed that piece of
that
paper.
bachelor's of science in information
a
networking.
BS degree.
You're right.
I recently listened to this. I want to make a full disclosure here. This week, I listened to 3 books, and they were all very, very political books. I listened to Washington Rules, whose author I can't remember, but it talks about foreign policy in Washington and why it is the way it is. I listened to The Tea Party Goes to Washington by Rand Paul, which is a self-congratulatory title that really, really did a very good job of projecting libertarian ideals.
Rand Paul is a fucking sheep.
You think so?
I don't know.
I think
agree.
that guy is a fucking sheep.
he's
in-
not a hair in his father's.
You think he's a
he
wolf
is
in sheep's
wolf
clothes?
in sheep's clothing. Perfectly.
But
Okay.
I don't blame him.
You know what?
It's hard not to be. How are you going to be in that position, heir to a throne, quote unquote,
That's the problem
and
I have.
not be pressured into being that wolf in sheep's clothing? It's so easy to be.
Here's the thing about Rand Paul. A lot of his political outlooks, his ability to be
Word that I
a-
cannot find.
his ability to be able to say, I'm willing to compromise on these issues is something that you don't hear a lot, because the issues that he was talking
You never
about.
heard that from his father ever.
No, ever. Never, ever, ever.
Never.
Ron
But
Paul
maybe
never
there's
said.
a flaw there
But
as
no-
well.
The thing is,
That was the thing I loved about his father.
Really? See,
he never had anything. He was like, hey, listen, if you fucking vote for me, this is what I'm going to do. And his fucking record stood fucking behind that.
see, now I think, now I like that. I like what you just said right there. I like that. But I also like the fact that you and I, John, for example, for a very specific example, if we had to build a society, we would continue to disagree on abortion rights because you have already said in this show that you're pro-life.
Position A.
With some exceptions.
At the federal level.
Right.
If we're talking about constitutionality, I would say that's a state thing.
That's a very good point.
And I love that because I agree.
That's a very good point that I am forced to agree with now. Not to get too far into this rabbit hole, I didn't just read Ron Paul.
I don't think you should have to go to Mexico and get a fucking trashy abortion, but
it's a nice trip.
It should be.
Yeah, you could also get a hooker.
Like, you know,
it should be up
If you
to
live in
the
Pennsylvania,
state.
it is.
Right.
If the doctor's willing to do it, great. If the doctor's not willing to do it, also very great.
Find another doctor.
Bingo.
Yeah. That's a free
Let
market.
the people do.
Well, no,
what they
I
do.
think the state, and it's specifically listed in the Constitution,
The
in
10th Amendment.
Man, did we bring that back around?
that the things not specifically listed in here are up to the state. So that's a loophole in the Constitution.
That's why I say,
It's not a loophole. It's a great window. I don't like.
you know what?
No, I'm just saying.
That's a good point, Corey. It's not a loophole. That's just how it fucking works. It's not something that people take advantage
Here's
of.
a core set of values. Everything past that, you decide.
Founding
That's
principles
what got
are important.
Stomped. And I probably sound like a huge asshole here.
Probably.
Well, why stop now?
I've heard your show. It shouldn't be very unusual.
The Civil War, Abraham Lincoln is probably the biggest
Overrated.
disservice to the fucking Constitution ever.
Oh, my God. You know what, John?
Fair point.
Let me go for a second, please.
Go.
That's a very good point. That is a very, very good point. Slavery was a state's right to decide because it wasn't set forth in the Constitution. And it wasn't set forth in the Constitution because of a series of compromises that allowed our country to join the revolution. It allowed the rest of the states, that the compromise that allowed slavery is what made it so that the southern states would join the revolution, because without the southern states, the U.S. never would have succeeded in revolting. It would have been the northern states against England. Wouldn't have worked out. Wouldn't have happened. So you have to make compromises regardless of the cost to your integrity. You have to be able to do that. I think that is a founding principle that is so overlooked in our government. Our governors, our congressmen, our presidents, everybody overlooks these times where you have to make the ugly choice. And you're right. Lincoln totally threw the Constitution out when he said Emancipation Proclamation, because that's not guaranteed by the Constitution. The Constitution says if it's not in here, it's for the states to decide. But is the Constitution really the knife we use to cut our nose off to spite our face?
It is, when you consider they already had amendments at that point. And
they made an amendment. They made the 14th Amendment.
Was that before or after the war was won?
Well, it was definitely after. Well, one? I don't know.
Well, look it up. When was the 14th Amendment fucking ratified? 1868.
I have looked it up. The 14th Amendment was ratified in 1868. The Civil War ended in 1865. So 3 years after the war ended, the 14th Amendment was adopted.
So there you go. Abraham Lincoln, douchebag.
I don't know, because they amended the Constitution, though. So, like...
Yeah, but he made the proclamation in, what, 1861? Fuck that motherfucker.
The Emancipation Proclamation. Proclamation. Shut up.
This goes along with these executive orders that fucking all these
like
presidents
that.
keep
I was gonna
fucking
go coffee.
passing. Fuck the executive order. They're unconstitutional. If you look at prior, I can't remember which president. I'm sorry.
John Adams with the Alien and Sedition Act. the second president of the United States, was the first one to violate the Constitution.
Was that combated in court?
We were at war. I don't think it was. I don't know. You know what? I don't know the specifics, but I do know that John Adams passed the Alien Sedition Acts, which are both very, very gross acts that I would not support today.
Have they been reverted?
Yeah. Oh yeah. God damn it! By the time Jefferson was president, yes.
Did he pass them by executive order?
Yes.
Okay.
No, not by executive order. They were voted on. He ratified it.
That's different.
That
I'm
is
just
different.
saying, a
But they are both
proclamation and an
Elected
executive order
representatives.
is the executive branch just saying I can do whatever the fuck I want until somebody challenges me.
In
And
order.
that is not what executive orders originally were used for. They were like, hey, staff, figure out what's fucking going on over here. That was an executive order. They were like memos to your staff.
But the important thing to keep in mind is that
emergency situations it spanned out, but that's about the end of it.
we are
Yeah, but they're fucking crazy
Now they're
with
laws.
them now.
That's true.
Right.
Absolutely fact.
we are a growing society. And that is an important thing to remember, is that we are the American experiment. So everything we do.
So as we move forward, we should put more and more power into one fucking asshole that only 56% of the people said would do a good job.
I definitely agree with that statement.
Stacey,
I
mean,
do
that's-
not agree with that statement. I want to be very clear. I do that for all the people that'll take that soundbite.
Yeah.
I do not agree with that statement one little bit. I think it's a little absurd that we have an executive. Personally, I think that's a little crazy.
You think my monetary system values are crazy, and you think it's absurd that there's a head of the executive branch?
I don't think it. All right, good point.
I think it's absurd that nobody fucking stands up, and I think it's absurd that the fucking Congress is just like, whatever, let him do whatever he wants.
You know what we need? We need
And
a.
the Republicans are just like, hey, you know what? If we let this asshole do whatever he wants, when our guy comes in, he'll do whatever he wants.
Well, his guy and the other guy's guy are both worshiping the owl god as we speak. So, wouldn't it be nice if we had a representative of the plebes? Wouldn't
the
it-
plebe, very nice.
Wouldn't it be nice if we had a Supreme Court justice or two so that it wouldn't be a tie, so that we could guarantee no ties, so there could still be an uneven number of Supreme Court justices? Wouldn't it be great two to make it, because there's already an odd number?
3 to make a tie. Untie. 2 could tie.
No.
No,
But
no, no.
if you're adding to the number that exists, it needs to be an odd number, so you need to add 2.
AirWreckRadio
Yeah.
goes to algebra. Thank you, Dave. Wouldn't it be nice if the plebes, the people, got to vote in 2 Supreme Court justices to offset
or the plebeian
the other
party.
fucking 9? Is it 7 or 9?
It's 9.
7.
9. Thank you. I thought it was
It's
9.
9.
Wouldn't it be nice?
Because, they go 4 to 5 a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Good point.
Wouldn't it be nice if the plebes could vote in 2 Supreme Court justices?
As a representative of the plebeian party.
What a terrific use of the electoral Congress this would be. Instead of having us vote for executives electorally, we could vote for executives with popular vote and elected judiciary representatives.
I don't think
I agree with you that you don't have to go there with me, because I agree the electoral college is outdated.
No. I want to go even further back in time
Okay.
than where we are now.
Continue.
I think that fucking the Senate should pick the president, not the people.
I cannot bring myself to agree with that at face
Don't-
value.
Here was the
You
idea. Of,
Try to sell it. Sell
Okay,
it to me.
The original idea was the people select the Congress. The people select the Senate. the Senate selects the president.
Isn't that what truly happens now?
Yeah, is there any difference with using the Electoral College?
Exactly.
No. I'm saying the Senate of your state selects.
The state Senate.
The state Senate
okay,
votes for
not the federal
president.
Senate.
That's where the Electoral College comes from.
Is that how it works now?
No.
No.
Okay.
It was
No.
at the federal
The
level
people
now.
vote, and the person who wins the state gets the electoral votes.
Not necessarily.
Yes, necessarily.
In practice, that's
how
what
it works.
happens.
No, but
The people in
more
your
people,
state.
more people in the state could vote for one dude, the popular vote, right?
Yes, the
But
popular
the,
vote.
but
yes.
the electoral could
The Electoral
Listen.
College doesn't represent the popular vote.
right, so he could go either way. right?
Listen,
Except through midterm
listen.
elections where
You
elect
win the
college.
state,
Uh-huh.
you win those electoral votes.
You win the entire
The whole
state's
thing?
electoral instead of winning the county's electoral votes,
See.
which is what you would get with a senatorial presidential
Well, no.
election.
The
That's-
Senate.
I
Here's
know
the deal.
that's-
The idea with the Senate, the state Senate, picking the president was that the states had power in picking who was going to be the executive. So the
Which
state,
is why you vote in midterm elections. To vote
Right.
for your representatives.
right? So your Senate, your state Senate, not your federal Senate.
Yeah.
Your state
midterm
Senate
yeah.
gets to pick, or maybe it was the federal Senate.
Why? But
It
either
was
way,
the federal Senate, but either way, it was like the two dudes from your state are going to pick somebody for an executive position that is going to protect the rights of your state. And this goes back to
I see.
the separation of federal from state. That's why it was originally designed that way.
I'm still not ready to agree with you that the Senate should pick the president. But
I'm not either, but I think that like people get all fucking and this is
why can't
Senate
just
world.
why can't the populace pick the president? We are able to be well informed. It is
Now,
not
2014,
difficult
true.
to draw a correlation between those that who are informed and those that vote. You can draw a correlation. Now, in 1776, when we had our first fucking revolution, the revolution, I guess we didn't actually. I don't know if we had an election that year.
Well,
We did not.
I can't imagine we did. We had no means to
I
have
think
it.
it was
we
the
will
fourth
not have an
president that
election
was the
during
first
the second
elected
revolution.
president. It was a while.
Jackson?
I think so.
Really?
They weren't elected.
No, that's
Some-
John. That's
We
wait,
might look. We can look that up.
Washington. We don't need to look it up. Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Adams Jr., Jackson. The fourth president was, I believe, it was either Jackson or Adams Jr. I'm pretty sure it was Jackson.
Hey, you know what? I got Boris Yeltsin, first
I don't
elected
think
president.
That's interesting.
Oh, that's
I wonder what your
wonderful.
Google searches are that would predict that answer as the most relevant.
It doesn't matter what we found out. 1897 was the fucking year.
1897.
And according to your phone by Boris.
100 plus years after we had 1890. Are you sure it wasn't 1797?
What does it fucking matter?
I guess it
anyway?
doesn't. I guess that's a good
No.
point.
It was
Does not matter.
There was
Background
some time.
above me.
There was some time that we didn't use a fucking popular vote. We still don't use a popular vote.
No, we
but
don't.
We didn't even use an electoral college.
Could you imagine?
Yesterday.
Imagine for a second what would happen if.
Trouble seems so far away.
Thank you very much for completing that song lyric. What would happen if we had used a popular vote by the year 2000 and Gore
Gore would have won.
would have won? It would have been Gore instead of Bush too. The second
I
time.
brought you the internet.
I don't even want to talk about.
Can you imagine? I think it would have been exactly the same, except for a couple of key,
Same outcome.
yeah,
Yeah.
we still would have been in the exact. I don't think that we would have avoided
but
war with
Gore
Iraq.
in it was 1787.
All right, that's better. 1787 sounds much more.
Makes more sense.
Because the Electoral College was put in place by the founding fathers who thought property owners should have a higher stake than everybody else. And they were right at the time because that's what the times economy dictated. It was there wasn't the information age. Listen, we can Google anything. You can learn anything. I clean cars for a living, and while I'm doing that, I learn about the politics of the day because I benefited with the ability to disconnect my brain from the job I'm doing to make my work and still be able to learn stuff. It puts me in a unique situation. I understand that other people aren't capable of that. But in 1786, nobody could listen to a podcast about the politics of the day. So you had to vote for people who were better informed than you. So you voted party line, and that would give you your better informed than you, shares your same core values politician.
And that's a big problem right there that you just pointed out.
You dictate to your core values as though abortion has anything to do with the economy.
You can't go to the Republican.com fucking website, read their shit, and then go look at the people who are Republican and match the two things up.
No, you can't. You're
no one's going to
absolutely
fit.
Correct.
Same thing with Democrats. Now, Libertarian, on the other hand, you can.
Nobody's going to fit. What'd you say?
That perfect mold, right?
No, nobody's
but
going to
it
be
would be
exactly.
nice
not even.
It would be nice that if you had a party line that said, "Hey, these are what we stand for," and you looked at their voting record and it matched it.
The trouble is that the popular press says, "Oh, this person's anti-gay rights or anti-abortion," and you instantly draw to that as if that's what's coming up in the next big Congress battle. But what we really should be looking at is how does that person feel about things that really fucking matter? Because we're a progressive nation. We just are. We're just...
Yeah, Roe v. Wade was in the 70s. Let's fucking move on.
Yeah, can we just get past abortion as a social issue? Does this really need to be still brought up? The Supreme Court decided, and we go with what they decide.
And
I
let
mean,
your
my
God
idea is,
decide past that.
It doesn't matter what my personal views are. If I was a politician, that would be off the table.
It would be. I agree with that.
God decide your view.
Nobody's making you have
if
abortions.
somebody asked me, I would say, "Hey, this is my view," but the Supreme Court decided this,
It's up
and
to
until
you.
laws fucking change, just explicitly say that's not okay. I'm not pushing for those laws. That's not an issue. There's so many
However-
other issues that I can tackle.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Before
however,
fucking-
let's stop inflation of an imaginary dollar. Let's start there.
Let's put money where it belongs.
See, I don't even think that's a real issue. I think they should print more money.
It's already imaginary. You want more monopoly money?
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
As long as you believe in it,
So
it
the
works,
numbers,
right?
well, so the numbers keep getting bigger, but nobody.
No.
ever really goes anywhere?
If you really look at the cost of living and the cost of things, they haven't gone up as much as they've been printing money.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I think that I do agree, Corey. I do agree with you that printing money based on nothing is a problem. But John, I also agree with you.
I say let's ride this fucking pony train until it fucking explodes.
I think the key thing is to
Print
jump
that
off.
shit until it fucking blows
Fair
up.
enough.
I think that it's
It
important.
will blow up, but we're nowhere near that. Let's fix everything we have right now. Let's fucking
And
clear
deal with
the
it
debt.
later?
I think
Fuck
that
yeah, fuck it.
I want to be very clear. I think that we should get off of that train before it blows up.
I don't
Fair
care. Who
enough.
cares?
I like to survive it. The
Yeah.
That's what I'm
problem
saying.
I will
as a-
survive. I'm a smart dude.
as a
My
private
kids are going to
company-
be smart. They'll prop me up. Whatever. Let's
a-
roll.
As a private company continues to print our money and sell it to our government, so that every dollar comes with at least a minimum of 8% interest.
$3.
Every dollar of debt.
Every
comes
dollar
with
of debt.
$3
Actually, I heard recently.
of debt.
I learned recently in a book. Every dollar that is printed comes with $3 of debt. That is a 300%
system.
debt to income ratio.
That is a broken system.
Yeah, that's not how you balance a
And
checkbook.
At the base,
I don't care how
eventually
big.
it's gonna collapse.
Right.
I don't care how big that checkbook is. It's time for break. Folks, we will be back to finish up this fiasco of podcasting. Hang in there.
God, I love this.
Hang out. We'll be right back.
Yes, that one.
She said it's cold outside and she handed me my raincoat. She's always worried about things like that. She said it's all gonna end and it might as well be my fault. Only sleeps when it's raining, and she screams, and her voice is straining. She says, baby, it's 3 a.m., I must be lonely. When she says, baby, I can't help but be scared of it all. Sometimes rain's gonna wash away, I believe it. She's got a little bit of something, God is better than nothing. But in a color portrait world, she believes that she's got it all. She swears the moon don't hang quite as high as it used to. She only sleeps when it's raining. She screams and her voice is straining. She says, baby, it's 3 a.m., I must be lonely. When she says, baby, I can't help but be scared of it all. Sometimes rain's gonna wash away, I believe it. She believes that life is made of all that you're used to. And the clock on the wall was been stuck on 3 for days and days. She thinks that happiness and madness is on her doorway. But outside it stops raining. Yeah, when she says, baby, it's 3 a.m., I must be lonely. When she says, baby, I can't help but be scared of it all. Sometimes rain's gonna wash away, I believe it.
Welcome back to AirWreckRadio. Thank you for sitting through to the third break. Again, we have Second Prince from secondprince.com in studio with us, hashing it out, doing the thing that we do, discussing the hard subjects, and trying to be a little bit funny, a little bit entertaining.
Mostly,
in
I think
between.
we're just talking over each other.
That happens a lot when we do this show.
Four
However,
people with this group.
Hard subjects, not my cock.
Yeah.
This group gets talked over more than any other group that we've ever talked to.
However, this is my favorite guests to have on the podcast.
Mine as well. I really enjoy
I'm
it.
totally getting that clip.
Cut it out, baby.
So, listen, while we're on the ROC podcast,
SecondPrince.com, ROC podcast.
while we're on
Second
the
Prince,
Are you
ROC
still-
podcast.
Are you still putting those up?
We're working on that. The site's been down. We're getting back together.
All right, you're just 3 or 4 episodes, 5 episodes
At
behind.
least.
So I was
So
just
shit came down.
wondering if you were still fucking
Straight up,
posting our shit.
straight up, me and Vinny. So shit came down. I got busy. Vinny got busy. We've both been working our personal lives. ROC podcast will be back up sooner than later because I got a new guy who's going to intern, who's going to do some work. He's going to do some ROC podcasting. We're going to be back up sooner than later.
while we're on the ROC podcast, Stroke a Dong, I would like to quickly voice my condolences to Jay from the Mental Overload Show.
Yes, sir. First grandfather, yes, sir.
Jay recently lost his grandfather. Jay is a great guy. I'm very distraught to hear that his grandfather has passed. And Jay, I want you to know that although I am very agnostic, my prayers are with you.
Condolences, my friend.
I remember when my grandfather died.
I remember when my grandfather died too, and I would have liked to have known that people's prayers were with me.
Clearly as the day.
Me too. Both of them, actually.
Do you want to tell a story or no?
Go ahead.
Are you sure?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So I was playing Asshole
I love that game. It's my favorite
He
game.
does like that game.
with a bunch of dudes in a dormitory.
That sounds
at
gay.
a private school. At a private Christian school in Canada.
Sounds more gay
Yep,
now.
yep,
You just made it
yep.
more gay.
Anyway, somebody comes in and is like, "You got a phone call," and I go, and I was president.
Oh,
Anybody knows anything about the game?
you're president like I'm a drink, fuck you, bitch.
And
Hold on, I gotta get a call. I'm the president.
I go out in the hallway and pick up the phone in the hallway because that's how it worked there. And they're like, "Your grandfather died, blah, 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 blah. We're going to come pick you up." And I hang up the phone. I go back in, and they're like, "Hey, you got to be asshole because you fucking left."
You resigned presidency.
And you're like, no, I don't, right?
I fucking got so mad, and I fucking punched a couple people.
Did you punch people
Really?
over that?
And, I was upset. My fucking grandfather just died. And Eric fucking pushed me out in the hallway. He's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I told him, and I don't remember what happened after that, actually. But I was just like, I just started bawling after he, like, I had no emotional fucking reaction until he took me out. I was pissed. And he took me out in the hallway and was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I'm like, "My fucking grandfather died." And then I just started bawling. It was terrible.
I remember my grandpa Coughlin died, and he was like I had my grandma Coughlin and my great grandma Coughlin had both died in my lifespan, and I was alive, and I went to the same exact funeral home for both of those people, and I just really couldn't relate to what was going on. But when Grandpa died, I was old enough, like I understood what happened. He was gone. He wasn't going to be there no more. And that shit busted me up bad, man. But I still had to be like the oldest kid in the room. So like at the funeral home that we went to, which I would totally give a plug to if I could just remember it. We went to the funeral home that my family goes to. And I was still too young to be an adult, but too old to be really a kid. So what I had to do was make amends with the other kids in the room because they all just wanted to play Twister and shit and live it up in the basement of the funeral home because this is what just goes on.
A stroke is a step for a child.
And I remember I really just wanted to cry, man. I really wanted to cry when my grandpa died because my grandpa was a pillar, man. He was 6'5". He was a fucking pillar, literally. He worked for Bausch and Lomb. He was a really good guy.
He was a Korean War vet.
He was a Korean War vet.
And he is what, and the hardcore listeners of Eric will know that me and Stacy share a relation outside of the show. That was in the past. But if there's ever been a man that I wish I could have met, it was Herb Cobb.
My grandpa Herb was
No
a
question.
badass, good motherfucker. Meanwhile, I still hold him in high esteem in my memory. It sucks a fat one when your grandpa dies, man. It sucks bad. My wife just lost her great-grandma. No, my daughter just lost her great-grandma. My wife just lost her grandma. And it was a tough time for her.
Man.
Yeah. It sucks losing grandparents. It does. So, Jay at Mental Overload Show.
Well, that's where we started with this, yeah.
The ROC podcast family is here tonight, and you are in our thoughts. We all miss our grandparents when they're gone.
No matter what God you believe in, we do believe that human beings feel certain things.
Now, in happier, more sadistic news, the former best podcast of Rochester,
Local Vocals,
has suffered a severe set of tragedies.
Really?
Yes, their servers crashed. They're fucking.
Really?
They have gone through some shit over at Local Vocals. They've lost their entire
Library?
local. This breaks my heart above all things.
God.
Their whole local library has been lost.
How does that happen?
You guys
I don't know.
have
Computer
your whole library,
faults.
right? Could you imagine losing every show?
Yeah,
And the world would be a better place.
All right. Now, you may remember that last year, Rochester Insomniac Local Vocals was voted Best Podcast of the Year. You might remember this if you paid attention last
Good
year.
following they have.
Yes.
They're gone, bitches. It is now a dead heat between Mental Overload, AirWreckRadio, and Second Prince Podcast.
Let's get it on.
And to be completely honest, ROC Podcast is not getting my vote for best podcast this year.
I love them.
I love
Vinny,
them. I love being a part of ROC
and I love
Podcast,
Vinny. Let's get it on.
but they're not getting my vote. My vote is going for AirWreckRadio. And I completely expect that John's vote is going for AirWreckRadio and Dave's vote is going for Second Prince Podcast.
Actually,
I think you might have that opposite.
actually, yeah, probably.
Oh, that's
opposite.
right. You don't listen. You listen to books, you elitist, like me.
I don't know. Mental Overload's pretty fucking
Oh,
good.
God.
I like their show.
I love them.
I listen to them every now and again, and I'm like, damn.
They're funny
So
every
how about
time.
this? So how about this? Second Prince, AirWreckRadio, Mental Overload, Monday Medicine, one channel, one place for the best.
You better sell that to me a little better than right now because you
But
didn't
you're
sell me right
still
now.
Smelling it.
No, I'm not. You vote for AirWreckRadio, and if you're not going to vote for AirWreckRadio, you vote for something to talk about, which is not actually going to be in the running, but you write it in on the ballot.
I can't wait to vote for the best like pizza place, and
I know. I'm looking forward to betting for.
Vote Mark's Pizzeria, please, and thank you.
Also, I agree with that statement, though I hate the way Mark pays his employees because I was a former
Best
Mark's
pizza in
Pizzeria employee.
yeah.
It's very average. And if they were forced to pay a higher minimum wage, Mark wouldn't lose a dime. He'd be just fine.
You'd be okay.
He'd be just toots. He'd be great.
Even doubling the $15.
I don't think it would hurt his bottom line.
Now, when you're a did you
$30 an hour for pizza delivery drivers?
$15 an hour.
you a delivery driver?
Yes.
Now you get paid a lower rate than the minimum wage. Is
Wrong.
that correct?
No, that's
not
not
like
correct.
a restaurant.
No, it's
like
not
they
like
get
a
away
restaurant.
like, hey, you
Which
get
is
four,
disgusting,
You get
by
four,
the way.
you get $4.25 an hour
By the
because
way,
you
it's-
get tips.
It's not that disgusting.
It's
My grandmother was a server
At 15
for 40 years. You cannot tell me that her work was less appreciated than anybody else's.
No, with tips, what did she make an hour?
Still right around. Well, no, probably not.
You know
Not
what?
over here.
I don't need to
Listen,
speculate.
I know. Well,
Can I
I
step
only
in?
know a couple servers, and they both make $17 to $18 an hour after they consider tips.
John, I would love to step in.
I worked as a server. Okay, you know
Did
what?
you work at a TGI Fridays?
No,
You look
He
like
looks
somebody
like
that
a
could bring me
TJ,
ice
yeah.
cream.
I agree with you. Yeah.
I don't know if that's
He's
a
the guy who
compliment.
remembers
It's
the
not.
order
Okay.
It's not an
without
insult
writing it
either, but it's very indifferent.
Now I don't know how to, no, I worked at Champs, Eastview Mall.
Oh my goodness, Champs! I worked next to a Champs. I knew all the people at Champs.
And you know what sucks?
No.
When you work as a server and you get that because they overstaff because they're like, it's going to be fucking busy
Wait,
tonight.
Champs
right?
clothing store?
No,
That's
restaurant.
terrible.
Oh,
They
I work
overstaff-
next to a
They're
clothing
like,
store.
They like, we have 22 servers on tonight, and you're like, awesome.
Great, I'm not going to make any
Make
fucking
any money.
thing. Yeah,
So you get your $4.25, and then you have one fucking table, and then they cut you, and you're going to do all kinds of side work, and you get a shit tip on that table. That's when you're like, fuck, I wish I was making at least $8 an hour.
see, I think it's wrong to
Yeah,
consider.
but it's law that they pay you at least minimum wage.
No, it's not. When you make tips,
No. Yeah,
No, it's supposed to be.
it maybe
it's
it's
not.
supposed to be, but it's not.
It's not.
When you make claimable tips, when your tips are claimable. See, when you're a pizza delivery driver, your tips don't get claimed. You don't claim them.
No.
There's
I'm
like a-
talking about in a restaurant. The law says, I don't care how it actually works.
Okay.
If the people are getting treated like this, they
Do you
should
really
fucking-
don't care?
What?
Do you really don't care if it matters what your what the law says?
No, I care what the law says.
I thought you might.
If the person makes $4.25 an hour and minimum wage is $7.50, if their fucking tips don't make up the other $3.25, the fucking owner of that business on claimable tips is supposed to pay them the difference.
And this is true.
And this is
true.
This is the deal.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and if they do that over and over again, then you fire that fucking person.
However, there's a secondary bylaw that says that an employer can only charge 30% of gratuity. So, if you make $4 an hour, and I have to make up the difference to the minimum wage, 30% of your gratuity of your tips
Goes
counts
towards that.
towards that minimum wage difference.
I got a better
Now,
idea.
For bartenders, and I've been seeing a girl once in a while.
Good
who's
for
a
you.
Who's a good-looking bartender?
Me too.
who makes-
I married her. She's not a bartender, but I've been seeing her for a while.
Who makes a decent dollar, but when she works, $30 of her unclaimed tips goes towards her income at the bar.
You know what happens at the restaurant I used to work at? And,
That's a good.
or
I like
used to work
30%.
at, and what, like, probably a lot of restaurants do is you're a server, right? You get drinks from the bar, and you also have a busboy. So guess what? 5% of what you make gets taken from you. So if you get one table and you get stiffed on that check,
Oh, that's
right?
fucking gross.
You actually paid to be to work today. You lost money to come into work.
I'd point out that she's gorgeous and never loses.
As a flat rate.
No, and she might have to tip out a
If you're
busboy
a person-
possibly or a bar back.
This
maybe,
goes
but
the same-
she's making tons of money because she's good at
This
her job.
goes the same as a salesperson who's working on a draw. If your fucking employer is overstaffing the place that you work at,
You should probably seek employment somewhere else.
Absolutely, and it's your choice to
They're not
have.
there.
right? I'm just saying.
And it is
I
your
worked
choice
at
to
a
work there.
sales place
Hold on.
where
Can
I
I-
sold something,
Can
and
I-
I got a draw, and I'm working against my draw,
You're working against your draw. Fair enough.
and they fucking, which is the same as working with tips,
Any other, yeah.
pretty much. if there's not enough people walking in the door to cover all the salespeople,
No ups, no
because
sales.
right, because the next person walks in and it's your up, and if you got 8 ups in a fucking 12-hour day and you work a 12-hour shift and there's fucking 4 dudes working, you get 2 ups. And if one of them's buying fucking floor cleaner, you're fucked.
Because, in my industry.
You know, or, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Especially when there's 32 other places to fucking buy the same shit you're selling.
Same thing. Yeah. I get it.
You have to deal with upsells in your business, John?
No, but I was a sales professional long before I was an IT professional.
Okay. All right.
I used to sell flooring. I used to sell furniture.
Okay.
I used to sell appliances. I used to sell electronics.
I'm actually seeing
So
myself in a sales
and they
role
were
more and more.
all commission
So
sales.
am I.
You're already in a sales role.
No, you in the sales role.
Oh, yeah. No, me
I
too.
said it to him earlier. If you can podcast, you can sell. You like to talk, you can sell.
I already agree with that. I could sell. I'm very comfortable doing
Sales
what I do.
is a fucking
I'm very good at
miserable
doing what I do.
goddamn job, dude.
I
You're
disagree.
what
He said-
I disagree
but you
completely.
sell in your the
I'm
things
not
you
sure.
sell are in your niche. You
Yes.
love your sales work.
Yeah. Why
You
would
want-
I want to do anything? I love sales,
But you-
but why would I want to do anything different? I wouldn't want to sell something that I don't like. Now, I had a job where I was a salesperson, and I sold something that I didn't do. Like, I never drank coffee, and I sold coffee. Like, and yes, that was a miserable experience, but it is kind of thrilling to sell something. Like, maybe you don't even like it, but you sell them, and then you upsell, and you get all that shit, and then it's kind of, it's cool.
See,
For me,
I like that too, but on the case, the one place, it was Rochester Linoleum and Carpet One that I sold for
Hard to
flooring.
give a shit about flooring.
I sold flooring. No, I loved it. I was into it.
I know you love
I
the
learned a
job, right?
ton.
But did you really love flooring, or did you love the job?
I loved flooring while I worked there.
The job.
No,
The products.
I loved.
You were, like,
I
going
knew which
home and,
products
like-
were. I knew everything
Yeah.
about flooring.
Okay.
When I go and buy flooring for my own home,
So you
I
love
take the
flooring
knowledge-
for its ability to promulgate your own interests.
Yeah, because when I go and look at, like, when I was buying,
That's why you
houses-
should like a job.
When I was buying houses recently, and I haven't worked in selling flooring for a long time, I would look at stuff like, man, this is cheap.
It
garbage
gives you
flooring. I
it gives
gotta
you a
fucking
really
replace
good
this.
insight. It gives you an insight.
But on the second hand, that was the place that had the problem with overstaffing when I worked there. From what I hear, they don't have that problem anymore.
It's hard to overstaff
The
these
problem,
days.
so right before I got hired, they had some people come in to evaluate their business, and they evaluated it and said, the only way you're going to grow your business is if you have more people come in and work for you. So they hired a bunch of people.
Well, in
Well,
the
that-
base of economics, that's true.
While they weren't in the, I don't think they were evaluating the ups coming in the door.
Possible sales. Ups equals possible sales.
Right. They were just
People
looking
don't
at
know.
the business is growing. How can you grow it more? They were growing at a good pace. This is like, they
See,
were
but you liked sales. You might not particularly like the company you were working for.
That's true,
Right.
But I would rather not be in sales. I would just rather go in and be like, "This is your job. This is what we're going to pay you."
Well,
And you do your job and you do it good and you get paid.
See, I think
And
that's
you're
what I
not
like
measured.
about sales.
You're not measured on. I mean, I'm still measured on my performance in my job.
Everybody
now,
is.
but it's not like, hey, if we don't have enough people coming in the door, but this guy got all the good ups,
It happens.
By luck.
It happens.
He gets to keep his job and you're going to lose it.
It
Not
happens.
that my job was never threatened there. Like, I did it good enough that I could have held on for... I'd probably still be working there if I wouldn't have quit. You know what I mean? But it was just like...
I probably still could have
Fuck
been working at
this.
Subway if my job didn't get quit.
That's what I think I like most about sales.
Just saying.
Is
hate
the
Subway.
exact opposite. Is that a customer comes in and no two customers are the same. And I like building the rapport and breaking the puzzle. What is this person like? What is this person into? What does this person need to hear?
And your job's different every day.
Every single day, every single customer, everybody's different.
It's
and that's
not
what
the
I like
same
about
That's what-
fucking thing. Man.
That's what draws me
I
to
like it.
car sales is that you're going to deal with, because I'm not a car salesperson, but I could be. Oh my God, could I be?
employee-owned dealer.
I think that is a terrific idea. I think that's where dealerships should go. Is that where they're going to go? No, because there's no incentive to make it go there.
Until we do it.
Until the pitchforks come out, which is what our only news story was about.
See, that's my thing about unions. Like, a union is a good thing because you have a workforce that's negotiating for their
Pro-unions.
fair... Listen,
This guy, pro-unions.
Yeah.
it's a workforce negotiating for their fair share of the profits their company is making.
In 1952, yeah.
No. Even now, it's still important to have.
Until it's $47 an hour to go zip.
Listen,
Listen,
all right, well, fuck
now,
that, but let John go on his point.
There's a fucking line where the company, because it's still a negotiation, the company needs to say, we're not going to fucking make no more money. We can't fucking pay these kinds of pensions. We can't do this.
It's ridiculous.
It's non-sustainable.
Hey, we're non-union if you fucking don't agree with these fucking agreements.
It's not sustainable.
The upper echelons of the companies need to be able to see that and do that.
See
Now, the real big problem I have with unions is especially on public service unions where those people are negotiating for something that makes no money. They're just taking money from the taxpayer. So it's like they get these great pensions, they get this great stuff, and they don't
Infrastructure
produce shit.
and they're not producing anything.
Right.
Infrastructure management isn't a production of anything.
Let's
use Subway, for example.
Hold
I'm mainly
on.
talking about
Hold
education.
on.
And I'm not saying that
Education's a good field to get into.
I'm not talking
Wrong. I'm sorry that wrong was so loud. I I don't know what I did into my
I think
microphone.
me and John both were like, really? Wrong?
Is not a good thing to get into. And you know why? Because it doesn't pay anything. Do you know why that is? Because it's fucking broken.
But it's still necessary.
It sure is
It's
necessary,
not.
but necessary doesn't make
To
it.
maintain infrastructure?
No, it's
You like
important
the
to
internet?
maintain it. It's not.
Podcaster guy?
Hey, listen. Hey, that is maintained by private corporations, not the government.
What's the difference?
That is a good point. His counter argument is a good point.
It's not a good point. It's the worst point ever I've heard ever.
Why?
Point it out. Tell me why.
Would you tell me
Because
why?
I pay for fucking service from.
You pay for your federal government too.
Yeah, but they don't give me service.
No, they don't. Why do you
This
pay for
is
that?
my point. This is my point. Like, you pay for a level of service from Time Warner Cable.
You pay for a level of service from your federal government too, but they don't
but
provide
they don't
it.
provide it.
Right,
That's
so
my
why do
point.
we have to keep fucking paying for it? Corey, for
Yeah.
fuck's sake, I gave you some money
He's
before
just
this show
proving my
started.
point.
Would you please play me some Sassafras Tea?
All right, thanks for listening to us at Second Verse Podcast.
Stop for 1 second, and we
No,
will
don't
give you.
stop for
No,
nothing.
no. We'll give him the plug. We'll do the PSA.
You can follow us at Second Prince.
It's late in the afternoon, the sun rising high. There's nothing to do around here, and if there was, well, I wouldn't try. Taking my car getting near evening, the sun going down. I guess I should shake a leg, climb in my car and roll downtown. Check out the city lights, all decked out in a tux and a tie. But I'm sitting in my easy chair, taking a sip of my sassafras tea. Now wouldn't you know it, oh, here comes my neighbor Jim. He got the willies and the worries on his mind, and the weight of the world putting pressure on his spine. Well, I got the solution. I know how to set him free. Set him down in my easy chair and give him a